Game Time High School football action on Your View is brought to you by Navigant Credit Union, serving members since 1915. With Navigant Credit Union, getting great rates has never been so easy. Just visit a Navigant Credit Union branch or navigantcu.org to learn more. For a high school football live streaming, behind-the-scenes coverage, and more, check out yourview.com.
You've got a whole lot to keep up with, and that doesn't even include shopping around for rates on CDs. But as a new member of Navigant Credit Union, you can breathe a little easier knowing you can get 2.50% APY for 13 months with just a minimum deposit of $500. Stop by one of our new branches to learn more. You know, when you've got some free time.
Drone Racing League pilot Wild Willie is testing his skills on the scariest course imaginable. His mom's house. Fortunately, he's using panoramic Wi-Fi from Cox, because even a 1-second delay could mean trouble for everyone. Wall-to-wall fast panoramic Wi-Fi from Cox. Wi-Fi at the speed of flight.
This is a Hendricken team that can run behind him. He takes up a lot of room, and he's got great foot speed for a big guy, somebody that is going to have a very talented North Kingstown line with its hands full tonight, Frank, for sure.
North Kingstown comes into this game with a 2-0 record, having scored 75 points in the first 2 weeks, and their scoring machine has been Gabriel Sloat.
Yeah, Gabriel Sloat a couple weeks ago in the season opener against Portsmouth. What a game. He touched the ball 4 or 5 times, ended up in the end zone almost every time he touched the football. And again, according to their coaching staff, they like to control the ball. They can run the ball well when they get behind that line. And again, against a Hendricken defense that is very stout, they'll have their hands full if they want to move it behind Mr. Sloat tonight.
Well, we're expecting a great football game here tonight in Warwick, Rhode Island. It is Bishop Hendricken High School against North Kingstown, and we'll have the kickoff coming up next on Your View.
You're watching Game Time on Your View. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out yourview.com.
In the blink of an eye, cities fall, heroes rise. A heartbeat skips as a man slips gravity's grip, and heartbreak leaps from the brink. In a blink, just think of all the games, teams, hopes, and dreams that live and die because greatness lies in the blink of an eye. This is the sports app on Contour from Cox. Cable TV reimagined to get you right to the good stuff.
Tonight's Game Time starting lineups are brought to you by Navigant Credit Union. With Navigant Credit Union, getting great rates has never been so easy. Just visit a Navigant Credit Union branch or navigantcu.org to learn more.
Welcome back to Warwick, Rhode Island for tonight's high school football game on Your View. Frank Carpano, along with Mike Rubin. The fans, they're pumped. They're ready for tonight's game between Bishop Hendricken High School and North Kingstown High School. Both teams in the highest division of Rhode Island Interscholastic League football, Division 1. A flip of the coin to determine who's going to kick off and who's going to receive. Looks like Hendricken won the flip. And the officials now sorting things out. And Hendricken will go from left to right on our screen. Hendricken in their green uniforms, gold helmets. The visiting team from North Kingstown High School, the Skippers, in white and black. The two teams coming in here, Hendricken 1-1 on the season. North Kingstown, a newcomer to Division 1 here in Rhode Island, are 2-0. And there is the head coach of the North Kingstown Skippers, Joe Gilmartin, in his 8th year. Been the head coach since 2011. Led his team to the Division 2 state championship last year. And on the other sideline, Keith Croft, entering year number 11 here at Bishop Hendricken with a record of 101 wins and 17 losses. And now it's time for our national anthem, the Bishop Hendricken Band with that for us.
In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit, amen. Live Jesus in our hearts. Please remain standing for the playing of the national anthem.
All right, everyone pumped and ready for high school football tonight. This a game between the #1 team in the state of Rhode Island, Bishop Hendricken High School, and the #3 team, North Kingstown High School. As we mentioned earlier, North Kingstown, a newcomer to Division I. They were in D1 probably about 10 years ago. Program slipped a little bit. They went down to D2 and last year won the D2 state championship and have moved up to D1. So they have something to prove here. And this also a game of public versus private. Bishop Hendricken, a private school. North Kingstown, a public school. North Kingstown will receive on the kickoff the artificial turf field here under the lights in Warwick, Rhode Island. Beautiful night for high school football, and the stands full of fans. North Kingstown traveling very well. It's probably just maybe a 10-minute ride away from Bishop Hendricken here in Warwick, Rhode Island. And, of course, Hendricken always brings out the fans for their games here. Bishop Hendricken had won 7 state titles in a row prior to last year and losing to LaSalle 22-21. And what a finish to that game we'll be talking about as the night goes on here. Hendricken has been to 23 Super Bowls, and they have produced some big-time college players, NFL players, arena football players. A lot of talented kids to come out of here. In fact, a little bit later, second half, we'll be talking with one of those players. And we get ready for the kickoff now. Daniel Rice set to kick this ball off, and we are now underway on your view, North Kingstown versus Hendricken. The kick bounces at the 12-yard line, fielded, and then a very short run back. And the skippers of North Kingstown will take over on the 20-yard line, Mike.
Yeah, Justin McCarthy didn't have very far to go. He was swarmed immediately. Great downfield coverage by this Hendricken defense. And we'll get a look at the North Kingstown offense coming on the field. Again, they've been moving the ball very well, Frank, over the last couple of weeks. And again, behind a very good line. Keep an eye on the left tackle, Dylan Poirier, one of the senior captains of this team, getting some looks from some FCS teams. And he is going to have his hands full, as we said, particularly with Xavier Truss at the nose guard spot.
We'll see what happened here. The North Kingstown's only thrown the ball a dozen times in the first 2 games, and the handoff on first down goes right up the middle. It was Osmansky, I believe, taking it there for a few yard gain. So it'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Skippers. 75 points in the first 2 games. On the road at Portsmouth, 56-14, North Kingstown win. Then Moses Brown, the team they beat last year in D2, 34-0, North Kingstown winning that game. Now back to pass, and incomplete as Osmansky goes to throw, and his pass was intended for number 88 of the Skippers, James McGovern. And there you see the starting offense for the North Kingstown Skippers, and I know that Coach Joe Gilmartin made note of his offensive line and how effective they've been in the first 2 games.
Yeah, Ephraim Graham and Dylan Poirier in particular, the two tackles, and the quarterback who we just saw throwing the ball, Osmansky's. Again, only 10 of 12 now, 10 of 13 on the season. He hasn't had to throw the ball all that often.
Osmansky back to pass again, throws off into the flats, and Gabriel Sloat is there, and he is wrestled down at about the 26-yard line. North Kingstown's gotten out to such big leads in the previous 2 games that they haven't had to throw the ball. In fact, I can tell you what the passing stat was total for 2 games, 10 for 12.
Yeah, they haven't had to throw the ball, and this is going to be a different kind of game. Obviously, they're going to have to try different ways to move the football. Now special teams, again, also a big part of their game. They're going to have to get a decent kick here. Hendricken's going to have good field position.
And it's blocked.
Hendricken's going to have really good field position.
Connor Safford blocks it and falls into the end zone, and it's a touchdown courtesy of the special teams for the Hendricken Hawks as they go up 6-0.
Great push by Shane Fernandez of Bishop Hendricken coming off the line. Yeah, there was not a lot of push from that offensive line. You see they come sprinting right through and right off the hands. It caught, I'm sorry, it was not Fernandez, it was Connor Safford, the 33. And just easily able to scoop it up was Fernandez. And boy, there was nothing there but the punter. And just like that, Hendricken's out to a 7-0 lead.
All right, 10:34 to go here in the first quarter, and Hendricken striking first. They lead 7-0 over North Kingstown.
As a new member of Navigant Credit Union, you're going to get all kinds of benefits and great offers, like our Journey Rewards checking account with one of the highest interest rates around and no monthly charges or ATM fees. But we like to think the best thing we offer is Andy, Katie, Zach and Amanda, and all the people of Navigant Credit Union right by your side. Stop by one of our new branches to say hi. Navigant Credit Union.
Jeanette, you know how during our date, we couldn't remember the name of that show we both liked. We're Cox customers. We could find it on Contour. Last 9 viewed. My grandkids are here. Home improvement shows. More like this. We liked House Hunters. That's the name of it.
Grandpa, you have a girlfriend?
We're not using labels.
That's a yes.
Watch more, search less, because you're a Cox customer. Cox.com/learn.
That first touchdown score here.
Yeah, plenty of time for the punter, and then suddenly there's 3 green jerseys in front of him. It was a good snap. I mean, just the push coming through the line. And, you know, if you're North Kingstown, you come into this game, you want to believe, you want to have you've made that jump. The tougher part of this now is the mental response. They have to be awful careful not to let this one slip away too early.
There's the pass and the completion up by midfield as the first pass completion for North Kingstown goes to James Omansky with the pass, and North Kingstown is on the move here as they quickly shake off that blocked punt and touchdown by Hendricken.
Nice throw on the run, a little bit of separation from the wideout as Zarella was able to get himself free, was in front of the receiver, did a nice job of making sure he didn't push off. An important answer here for North Kingstown. They're out to midfield.
Osmanski's going to take it himself up the middle. He gets up over midfield and then is taken down inside of Hendricken territory at the 43-yard line. And defensively, here are the starters for the Bishop Hendricken Hawks.
A good linebacking crew. We've seen some speed in that secondary as well. And again, this is a multifaceted North Kingstown attack that's going to try and come at them in a lot of different ways. Again, now coming out with 4 wide.
All right, 2nd down and 3 for the Skippers. And oh boy, the handoff and quickly taken down in the backfield courtesy of Nicholas Camella. Hawks getting through and dropping the Skippers for a loss.
10 carries for 160-odd yards for him coming into today's game. That's Tyler Calfee, and then really just not a lot of room, not a lot of time to let that play to develop. The offensive line's going to get a better push.
All right, 3rd down and 6 now. Back to pass as Osmanski lets it fly long, deep, and it is in and out of the arms of the receiver way down the field, and it's incomplete. So we'll have 4th down for the Skippers here as they punt it away once again.
Very good coverage there by Carlos Green, step for step with the wideout McGovern. You see McGovern trying to get his arms around him. If anything else, that could have been offensive interference because Green just had perfect position, exactly what your secondary coach wants to see, and the Skippers have to punt.
All right, here comes the rush again, and the kick is away. Fielded on the 15-yard line. A little Duke moves. We got a penalty flag down as runners brought down at the 28-yard line. We'll see what this call is all about.
Yeah, I think Evan Rinaldi took a little shove at Nicholas Iden, the long snapper who was downfield. Probably going to be a block in the back. And that little bit of a return, that shake and bake, yeah, it's in the block in the back, and that'll back up the Hawks. Good downfield coverage, and you'll see it coming right there on the right side of your screen. That shove there on the side of Nicholas Iden's just enough to draw the attention of the official. If he had released him maybe a second earlier, hadn't given that extra shove, maybe that doesn't get called. But the Hawks have a very long field facing them. It's 1st and 10 from inside the 10 after the walk-off.
They'll bring the ball back to the 8-yard line. That's where the Hawks will start on offense here. First offensive series for Hendricken. Their first score coming on a blocked punt that ended up in the end zone. And the run right up the middle. You'll never guess who was leading that block. Was none other than Xavier Truss. Pickup of a couple of yards there on first down.
Yeah, Israel Emmanuel, who had that ball, he's one of the running backs. They use a lot of different running backs. You see 3 other guys listed in that formation for the Hawks. All of them have had some success moving the football. Emmanuel with a couple of touchdown runs in the first quarter against Cumberland most recently.
And Angel Sanchez, probably what Coach Keith Croft said is our best player on this team, sitting out tonight due to a suspension imposed by the Rhode Island Interscholastic. Loose ball, and then picked up by the quarterback Thomas Camella, and he's going to run it around the left side and then out of bounds on the far side of the field around the 18-yard line. So making something out of nothing there.
A good way of putting it, Frank. I mean, when that snap comes in, it's high, and he does a good job of maintaining his poise. That goes right over his head, right through his fingers, scoops it up on one hand, gets around Matt Riley, gets around the end, has 1, 2, 3, 4 skippers chasing after him, gets out of bounds, and brings up a 3rd and short. The only downside was he didn't get it to the down marker because he had so much yardage to make up out of that shotgun.
3rd down and 2 now for the Hendricken Hawks on their first offensive series and leading 7-0 here in Warwick, Rhode Island on tonight's Your View High School football game. There's the snap, and it's going to be the quarterback taking it for first down yardage and more. Up over the 25-yard line goes Thomas Camella. First down Hawks.
And a nice job by the tight safety, Bryce Durney, actually the free safety, stepping into that tackle because he's the last man back. If he does not make this tackle right here on the tail end of this to your right, he's off to the races because he's the last man to beat. Great run, good downfield block, big hole. He could have driven a truck through there for the first down.
All right, first down now for Hendricken from the 27-yard line, their own 27. Camella calling signals, the handoff right up the middle, and a pickup of about 7 yards for the Hawks. As we take a look at the defensive lineup now for North Kingstown.
And again, that line, Profit, Graham, Poirier, Chanello, very important to the success of this defense. They want to try and get 8 men in the box, according to the coach, and try and slow down this run and force them into a passing game because North Kingstown feels good about their defensive backs. But 8 men in the box, if they get through that initial push, there's going to be a lot of daylight.
All right, 2nd down and 2 for Hendricken. And the handoff coming around the right side. And then heading back to the left is Israel Emmanuel. Emmanuel looking for room and picks up maybe a yard, but going east-west, he had a few more yards. Still short of the first down by about a yard.
Talk about running for your life and running out of how many tackles there. I mean, that's one that when it shows up on film for this defensive line, they're going to wonder woulda, shoulda, coulda. Now instead of having 3rd and probably 8, you got 3rd and inside a yard. It's 3rd and a very short one for Hendricken.
Under center now is the quarterback, Camella, calling signals. And he's going to hand it off right up the middle, first down yardage and more. So the Hawks still in business on offense after that nice run up the middle.
You'll watch Emmanuel. There's a nice push here. He goes right over the guard, right through the hole there. There's a lot of traffic, but by the time those linebackers are closing up, Ben Gilmartin, one of them, by that point, it's already a first down. He's very slippery getting through that seam between the guard and the tackle. Good blocking by the Hawks.
All right, the ball in the Hendricken 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Back to pass, and there's the long throw, and almost intercepted. That ball was intended for Andre De Los Santos, but the defender almost intercepted that ball on that long pass.
Yeah, good coverage downfield again by the corner, Sloat. You'll see him unleash the bomb. Sloat watching step for step. The only downside to this, you got to turn your head, and he does just at the last second. If he doesn't turn his head back to the shoulder, keeps his arms up, 9 times out of 10, you're seeing pass interference call.
Second down and 10 for the Hawks. It's a pass off into the flat and trying to find some room is Helio Souza. And Souza still going, finally taken down inside of North Kingstown territory at about the 46-yard line. We'll see where they spot. This is going to be very close to a first down, Mike.
Yeah, very close. As he got a lot of yards after the initial contact. I think he picked up about 9. And again, those first contacts from North Kingstown, they don't have the help defense. And they're going to take a timeout for a measurement here, the officials. From this angle, it's looking mighty close but short. And again, when you're picking up 8-9 yards on second down passing, they've effectively used that run to set up this passing game. The first pass didn't miss by much either.
You know, I think through the first few minutes of this game, North Kingstown is realizing that the speed of this game, perhaps versus other teams that they've played, is a lot different. This is a lot quicker, and certainly it was that quickness of the Hendricken Hawks that produced their first touchdown when they blocked a kick. So they are just, it seems like, inches away from a first down after that measurement. And so they'll have third down and very short yardage here as the ball rests on the North Kingstown 46-yard line.
Well, I'm sure the timeout for the measurement was a welcome opportunity to regroup for North Kingstown's defense. And don't think for one second that Bishop Hendricken wasn't talking about what they were doing if this were third and short, or what they were going to do if it was 1st and 10.
Camella under center and right up the middle there, and that's good enough for a first down.
Yeah, he only needed a couple of yards there, and a couple of inches, got a couple of yards. Great push again by the line, which is what you want on a sneak, obviously. And if you're Hendricken right now, you're pleased with the way you're wearing down this line. This has been a time-consuming drive. Probably about 4 minutes of game time has elapsed, and started down at the 8-yard line. So Hendricken Hawks doing a good job of moving the football.
All right, from the shotgun now, man in motion, and whistles blow, and we've got penalty flags.
Yeah, I think illegal motion on the Hawks. We'll back them up 5.
Well, the coaches, as you might expect before the game, very complimentary of the other team. Hendricken, Keith Croft, as you see there, saying that, you know, we're very evenly matched. They're a lot like us. While on the other side of the ball, Joe Gilmartin for North Kingstown, talking very highly of the Hendricken Hawks, and why not? I mean, 7 of the last 8 years they've been the state champion in the state's highest division. Now trying a long yardage here, 1st and 15 for the Hawks. Again, from the shotgun, Camella. And the run and a pickup, and then a drop after a pickup of about 6 yards on that play. Now, North Kingstown coach Joe Gilmartin saying, listen, you know, our only chance of winning is not to make any mistakes and to play a perfect football game. And they found with that first punt that was blocked and produced a Hendricken touchdown about the speed of this game and how costly mistakes can be.
You're not allowed many, particularly when you're playing up and you're playing against an opponent. You haven't played them in a long time. The last time you played them, it was not the result you were looking for. And this is what Hendricken has done over the years to most of their opponents in this league.
Pass over the middle, and a great reception there by Ethan Worcester. Nice little spin move as he takes it down to the 30-yard line, and it's another first down for the Hendricken Hawks.
Yeah, Ethan Worcester gets great separation coming over the middle, right in the hands. A little high was the throw, but again, the first tackle by Gilmartin, he's able to shake off, pick up a couple of yards after the catch as well.
So first down as Hendricken moves the ball down to the 30-yard line of the North Kingstown Skippers. First down, and the quarterback's going to keep it for himself. Down into the 20, 10, 5, touchdown, Thomas Camella.
Yeah, Thomas Camella got that ball around the end. That's a 30-yard touchdown run. And the four wideouts, watch the blocking when we get a look at this. Watch the blocking of the receivers as Camella comes across the edge. They effectively sealed off every linebacker that North Kingstown had. There's the fake inside. Everybody's pinching to Emmanuel, and then everybody's blocked. Everybody was blocked. Camella had an easy path downfield, and you talk about getting off to the start you wanted. A 92-yard drive takes about 5.5 minutes off the clock, and it's 14-0 Hawks.
So with 3:20 to go here in the first period of tonight's Yearview High School football game, 14-0, Hendricken leading North Kingstown. This game was to be a measuring stick for North Kingstown. As we mentioned, they spent about 10 years in Division II after being a D1 school for many years, and now back in D1. Usually when teams are moved up, it's kicking and screaming into a higher division, but they really believed that they were ready for Division I and felt that they were ready for tonight's challenge. We're still very early in this game, but some work for the North Kingstown Skippers to do here.
Well, it's gut check time for North Kingstown. Hendricken moved the ball really at will with their first sustained drive. Keep in mind that the first score came as a result of defense and special teams. So if you're North Kingstown, this is gut check time. You need to come out and have a sustained drive and keep your defense off the field.
All right, Justin McCarthy at the 10, 20, 30, and he is wrestled down at the 46-yard line. A great return there by Justin McCarthy, and the North Kingstown sideline erupts.
Found just enough room to get through and get upfield. Had some good blocking in front of him. And there's such a difference, Frank, when you're staring at this very good Hendricken defense. To pick up the ball, he gets it at the 10, and you'll see a couple of the wedge right in front of him, 5-6 guys. And when he got through that initial burst, you'll really credit the speed there of Carlos Green to get back and make a play on that, because for a second there, I think you and I both thought that Justin McCarthy was off to the races.
Well, North Kingstown now with great field possession as they're on their own 47-yard line. And a little bit of a discussion here over on the Hendricken sideline.
Well, I think there's a little bit of concern. They're taping up Xavier Truss's ankle. So that does, and now they have the trainer going across to check on somebody from the other team. So
we've got some injuries here that are being tended to. And we're ready to get back to football action. 3:12 to go here in the first quarter. 14-0 Hendricken leading North Kingstown, and there he is, Xavier Truss on the sideline.
Oh, he's got room.
Quarterback's going to keep it, and James Osmanski around the left side, and then trying to get upfield, and he is knocked out of bounds inside or just about the 30-yard line of the Hendricken Hawks. So North Kingstown on the move.
Yeah, nice run by Osmanski. They bid on the handoff fake around the end around. They didn't realize Osmanski still had it on the fake. He came back to the near sideline, got a good burst of speed, and nice job walking the tightrope up that near sideline to extend it by another couple of yards.
Same type of play that Hendricken just scored on with their quarterback. So little repeat play for the other team, and they've got great field position and a first down here on the 34-yard line. And the play blown dead.
Yeah, Hendricken wanted timeout, didn't like what they saw defensively, and wanted to sort things out. And you get a quick answer here at your North Kingstown. It's really a vitamin E shot for your offense, for your confidence, and most importantly for your belief that you're still in this one. This is where, if you're Bishop Hendricken, you're trying to strip the ball, and you're doing everything in your power to impose your will defensively.
Well, certainly the momentum has shifted a little bit here in the last minute or so, and that's certainly got to be good news for the North Kingstown Skippers as they're moving the ball very swiftly down towards the Hendricken sideline.
One thing these two teams have quite a bit of, if there's one thing you mentioned when you see a couple guys head to the sidelines, you think of depth, and your roster charts are full. These guys have a lot of participation on their clubs.
Hey, we want to take a moment to thank the folks at the Navigant Credit Union for helping to make tonight's telecast possible. With Navigant Credit Union, getting great rates has never been so easy. Just visit a Navigant Credit Union branch or navigantcu.org to learn more. Here's Xavier Truss on the sideline. Looks like he had that left, rather right ankle taped up. Wait to see if he gets back into the lineup here as he watches the defensive unit trying to hold back North Kingstown on the move here and on the 34-yard line of the Hendricken Hawks. Back to pass, the pass a little bit short as Osmanski looking for his receiver there. So it'll be 2nd down and 10 now for the Skippers.
Didn't quite get enough on that one. It almost looked like it might have slipped, to be honest, because it was so short on a short pass there from Osmanski.
Second down now, the ball on the 34-yard line of the Hendricken Hawks. And here's the quarterback, Osmanski, for the Skippers. Back to pass, looking left. And incomplete.
Got to be mindful of that line. So tall, so athletic. That was Ryan Shirtliff, just a sophomore, listed at 6'2". Got his big mitt up. Osmanski was looking downfield off to the left side, and whoops, here it comes. Boy, that tells me the young man's been doing his plyos. He got up there.
Well, no doubt this is the biggest, the strongest team that North Kingstown has faced. They've got 3rd down and 10, and over the middle, the pass is complete
hung on to it
for a 1st down, and that is James McGovern who reels it in and falls to the turf. Skippers keep it moving now inside of the 20-yard line. The ball spotted at the 15.
Big time 3rd down conversion. That's a terrific catch. Great coverage. Highlight reel there as he goes airborne. More importantly, watch his poise. Comes down, keeps it in his belly, got his elbow under the ball to prevent it from hitting the turf.
All right, 1st down and 10 now from the Hendricken 15, and a little jump there. We've got penalty flags. Looks like it's going to go against Hendricken. So we'll march it a little bit closer to that Hawks goal line.
Well, 1st and 5 now is, the Skippers have an opportunity to get a 1st down inside the 10. And I'm sure Coach Gilmartin would be fine if they just got to the end zone on their own, but they do have a chance to get a 1st down here.
Gabriel Sloat just checked in for the Skippers, and he takes the handoff, and he's going to be dropped for a loss. And great defensive coverage there for the Hendricken Hawks. I don't know, you see him come in, and you know that he's scored 6 touchdowns in the first 2 games, and you figure that in this type of a situation that the Skippers might be going to him, and that's exactly what they did, and he gets dropped for a loss. And there you see some of the fans who are lined up here. Boy, they come out in big numbers for these high school football games here at Bishop Hendricken High School. So the 5 yards that North Kingstown picked up as a result of that penalty on 1st down has now been negated. It's 2nd down and 10 for the Skippers, back to the 15-yard line. Osmanski rolls out to his right, looking, throws it into the end zone, and that's incomplete, as we had a bit of a battle going in that end zone for that loose ball. It was McGovern who was the intended receiver.
And you know what, Frank? Credit the officials for keeping the little yellow hanky in their pockets. I, for one, when you're watching the NFL, somebody's getting flagged there because there's contact. I love when they let 2 guys who are playing physical with a 50-50 shot at the ball both go for it. They're both even for it. It's a contact sport. Let them play. And good judgment there by the official, because in a situation like that, they're both going for it. You could call interference either way.
All right, McGovern, the intended receiver on that play, splits out wide to the right, and we've got a timeout. North Kingstown. They've got a very important 3rd down and 10 play coming up here.
This drive started at their own 47. They've marched the ball down to the 15, and they had that 1st and 5. They elected to rush. They lost it back to the original line of scrimmage and find themselves in a situation here where, you wonder if they're planning for what would be next. And it looks like Xavier Truss putting his shoe back on, so we'll see if he's heading back onto the field. Seems to be pretty confident. Checking out the wrap. His teammates want him back out there.
You see the little difference in size there.
And 93 is not small.
No.
Usually 93 means you're a defensive lineman of some sort. He had like 8-9 inches on him.
Yeah, he's a big boy. In that green uniform, we'll call him the Green Giant here, number 77. All right, North Kingstown coming back out. Gabriel Sloat. He's the big offensive threat out of the backfield for the Skippers. Big 3rd down play here, 3rd down and 10.
Oh, and I think another whistle. I think now Hendricken wanted timeout. And the game of chess continues. And does that give you a sense, Frank, as to how significant a moment in the game this is right now? I mean, if Hendricken's calling timeout to answer a 3rd down play call with 1:20 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, not taking anything for granted, these Hendricken Hawks. They come into this game with a 1-1 record back in week number 1. They traveled to Iona Prep, which is a sister school for Bishop Hendricken, and a school that's considered number 1 in the state of New York. Got a lot of kids on that Iona Prep team that are headed to big-time college football programs, and they handed it to Hendricken. It was a competitive game, but Iona Prep won that one, 41-34. And Hendricken head coach Keith Croft told me, we really wanted to test our guys in that first game of the season and see what we had. They went up against a much more difficult team.
And they still moved the ball for 376 yards.
Yeah.
The only problem was Iona moved it for 500.
And then Hendricken coming back to win against Cumberland in week number 2, 34-17.
You see offensive numbers like that, Frank. It's like the old whack.
All right, here's that important 3rd down play, 3rd down and 10, and the pass over the middle almost intercepted. Andre De Los Santos had kind of lined that one up and is kicking himself that he wasn't able to hold on to it, but that's going to bring on 4th down here for North Kingstown.
Great read by De Los Santos. He followed it all the way, never lost his eyes on the quarterback, and he knows it. He followed it all the way. You watched his eyes. He was really not paying too close attention to the receiver. He was keyed up on the quarterback, spying him the whole way.
So 4th down play coming up for North Kingstown here. And looks like they're going to run a play here.
Yeah, I don't think they want to kick a field goal. They know they could get a 1st down. They pick up 10 yards.
All right, back to pass and off to the left side. And a little wrestling match.
He caught it.
It's a reception for North Kingstown, and they score. On the receiving end, it looks like it was Andrew Zarella, a senior for the Skippers. Wow, and he had 2 guys on him and out-wrestled them for the football and the touchdown.
That's a gutsy play call, running an out pattern to the end zone from the opposite hash mark. Ball hangs up there, and it's into double coverage. Zarella's almost backpedaling away from the ball. Most fortunate, not only that he made the catch, but that he stayed in bounds while maintaining the possession.
And a very nice play, and then the extra points, and that is no good. So just 6 points for North Kingstown as they cut the Hendricken lead with 1:06 to go in the first quarter. 14-6 our score now. Well, we've had a lot of football here in this first quarter, Mike.
We sure have. I mean, you think about 3-4 drives combined, plus the blocked punt that led to a score. And, if you're North Kingstown now, you're thinking, all right,
we can play with these guys.
We've erased. You figure at some point the Hendricken offense is going to get you a touchdown. You've now equaled or it's almost like you've gone into the end of the first quarter down 7-0 if your defense comes out here and gets a stop. Because keep in mind, the momentum of this game still very much hanging in the balance. That Hendricken offense moves the ball too well for them to be feeling like this one's too far away. But the momentum definitely shifting a little bit for North Kingstown. Give them credit. That's a big drive to answer, and it all started with the kickoff return. They talk about all three phases of the game, and we've seen special teams have, a touchdown, a good return, a missed extra point.
Well, I think important for so many reasons, just to give the North Kingstown kids some confidence to know that they can hang with Hendricken here. And as you said, now even more important is how the defense for North Kingstown answers after that score. There's a line drive, Boots down at the 6-yard line, and then coming up over the left side and breaking loose, 40, 45, 50. And then finally dropped down at the North Kingstown 35-yard line. What a great return by the Hendricken Hawks.
It was James Gobawole he got a second burst of speed. Coming up that left side it was the 86. I apologize. Gobawole was one of the lead blockers. As he came across that left side, right there, that's a tackle that right there. That tackle, the one that they make, is touchdown saving at that point. And again, when North Kingstown watches this one on replay, they're going to see a lot of places where they ought to have wrapped somebody up. And I'm not sure if it's the blocking or just tackling technique that's getting in the way.
On first down, the Hawks go right up the middle, and they bust one for about 6 yards. Make it 5 yards. Second down and 5 here for the Hawks as they move the ball down to the North Kingstown 30-yard line as we're into the final 30 seconds of the first quarter here.
Short field again, though, for Bishop Hendricken. The last time they had to go 90 yards. They're looking at 35 yards here.
Back to pass, now scrambling a little bit. And finally the ball thrown through the hands as Thomas Camello is looking for Israel Emanuel, but threw it a little bit too high. So pass incomplete, and we've got 10 seconds to go here in the first quarter. So be third down and 5 now for the Hawks.
Now that was designed as a passing play all the way, and for a second there I thought Camello was going to tuck it in and keep running on that, that bootleg right, and Emanuel was open. He just overshot him a touch. Emanuel's a matchup problem for this North Kingstown defense. Very quick, explosive out of the backfield, and certainly has the ability to achieve some separation as a receiving back as well.
Third down play now, and that's going to be first down yardage for the Hawks as they work it down inside the 25 to the 24-yard line.
That was Ethan Worster on the carry. Picked up 6 or 7.
It looks like we've got less than a second to go, and they run the clock, and that'll be the end of the first quarter. So plenty of action here in the first quarter. Hendricken leading North Kingstown 14-6 here at this high school football game in Warwick, Rhode Island. More on Your View coming your way right after this.
Tonight's Game Time starting lineups are brought to you by Navigant Credit Union. With Navigant Credit Union, getting great rates has never been so easy. Just visit a Navigant Credit Union branch or navigantcu.org to learn more.
You've got a whole lot to keep up with, and that doesn't even include shopping around for rates on CDs. But as a new member of Navigant Credit Union, you can breathe a little easier knowing you can get 2.50% APY for 13 months with just a minimum deposit of $500. Stop by one of our new branches to learn more. When you've got some free time.
You're watching Game Time on Your View For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out yourview.com.
Welcome back to Warwick, Rhode Island. Look at that. Nice moon with some clouds here. Beautiful night for high school football in Warwick, Rhode Island. And the Hendricken Hawks with a 14-6 lead on the move here on 1st down and 10 as we just begin the second quarter here.
Did you order up this weather?
This is beautiful. I want to remember this when we're out at high school football games in November and it's raining or maybe snowing and very cold. This is a perfect night, and certainly the fans have showed up in great numbers here to see this Division I football game.
Take it over 90 in Human any day. These boys have been practicing in some really brutal conditions during the week, and on the weekends they played a couple games in heat that's been a little unusual. I know some of our viewers around the country are saying, 90 and humid, we're used to that. But for football season in New England, it's peculiar, we'll say.
Well, a loss of 2 on that play, so it's going to be 2nd down and 12 for the Hawks on the 27-yard line. There's the handoff, and then around the left side trying to find some room is number 6, Ethan Worcester, and might have picked up 1 or 2, but good job there by the North Kingstown defense.
The first time we've seen them really get a good push and get to that first round tackle and seal it off. And this is the first 3rd and long that we've seen in some time for Bishop Hendricken. I think we maybe saw one that was 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7, but for the most part, they've had a lot of 3rd and makeables.
Ike Camella now from the shotgun. Calling signals, looking left, and
that might have been picked off.
I think it was picked off for an interception.
That absolutely was picked off. The defensive line, much maligned. I think Carlos
Ephraim Graham.
Ephraim Graham. Yeah, I think Ephraim Graham got his hands on it.
Let's take a look again.
Well, Dylan Poirier on the end jumps up. He swats the ball, and that's an interception. That's an interception. He got the ball down around his belly. You know, you could probably make an argument if you threw the red flag to the tip of the ball, hit the turf, but no red flags here in high school football, and what a turn of events. Huge pickup for North Kingstown. Just a great defensive play by Poirier.
Another big jolt of confidence for the Skippers as they take over now on the 26-yard line, and on 1st down, Osmanski, the quarterback, takes it for himself, and he picks up about 3 yards for the Skippers.
The Skippers doing a better job on the line. They're moving the ball. I think a little bit of that maybe antsiness that started in the first quarter, those first 6-7 minutes, has dissipated a little bit. The line's playing a lot better. This is an important drive. I mean, they're all important, but if you can erase that 14-0 deficit, be a huge boost, obviously.
Back to pass, and the pass in and out of the hands of Andrew Zarella. So 3rd down coming up here for the Skippers.
And this will be an interesting play call decision for Coach Gil Martin. He's got a couple of different weapons, and you also have the legs of your quarterback. Osmanski's shown the ability to pick up 6-7 yards with the legs, and so I wouldn't be surprised if he has the green light to draw this if he finds himself with that opportunity. 4 wide, 3 on the left side.
Rolling out to his left, looking for room, and then dragged down for a big loss. A nice defensive play for the Hendricken Hawks. It was Evan Rinaldi with the drop for a loss, and now it's going to be 4th down for North Kingstown.
Yeah, Rinaldi's job as the linebacker, you see a missed block there, but he's spying the quarterback, follows him all the way to the left side. That one missed block, he was able to sprint around, and it's a punt situation, which, as we've seen, is a bit of an adventure.
Back at the 10-yard line, and quickly an end over end kick that bounces at the 47, and a good roll for North Kingstown, chased down and then picked up by Hendricken, but some good punt coverage there by North Kingstown. Nolan Bush, one of the first on the scene to drop Hendricken there, and they'll start in Hendricken territory, down at about the 32-yard line.
Noah Dogan getting an earful from the special teams coach. A little bit of a miscommunication. You have two guys at midfield. They're both looking at each other, and the ball literally skipped right between the two of them. It took what would have been a 30-yard punt and made it a 50-yard punt.
All right, on first down, around the left side after the handoff comes number 8, Israel Emmanuel. And Emmanuel knocked down over the 35-yard line to about the 37, where it'll be second down after a pickup of about 5 yards.
Yeah, he picked up 5. He ran about 15. He was hot-footing around this left side. He kept extending the field, stepping around tacklers. It's the defensive line from North Kingstown trying to grab him, but very slippery. And second down and maybe a throwing down. You might be able to throw it downfield here if you're Bishop Hendricken. Keep this North Kingstown defense honest.
Quick pass after the snap and not going anywhere with that one. Again, great coverage by North Kingstown after the pass reception to Shane Kenyon.
Yeah, Shane Kenyon.
Ethan Worcester.
Ethan Worcester grabbed that ball right at the line of scrimmage, and a good job by the defensive line on the left side, Poirier in particular. They all released from their line, the offensive line, and he had nowhere to go. Absolutely nowhere to go. Keep in mind that they blew the play dead. He was still fighting for yards.
He was. All right, third down play now for the Hawks. Back to pass again, Camella, and he's got a receiver along the near sideline, and that is number 24, Andre De Los Santos. That's enough for a first down as the ball spotted on the Hendricken 45-yard line.
Let's go! Yeah, nice route run by De Los Santos. He came up the left side, put on the brakes, made a really severe turn to the left, and the ball was there.
So another set of downs now for Hendricken as they're on the move, still in their own territory now on first down and 10. And the handoff off around the right side goes Israel Emmanuel, and Emmanuel dropped after a pickup of about 5.
Boy, he's got a quick first step. I mean, we don't have the full bio on Israel Emmanuel, but my guess is he's a track star. He can run. Whew. He has got a tremendous first step.
Certainly helped with the turf here. A lot of the
turf and no humidity. There's not even that like layer of sometimes moisture you see on top of the field today. We were walking it before the game. It's perfect conditions.
Oh, a bad snap and the ball rolling back to the 30. Chased down by Emmanuel, trying to get a handle on it, and finally fallen on by the Hawks. And that ball goes all the way back to about the 15-yard line. Wow, what a mistake.
So that started at midfield. That's about a 35-yard loss. And you'll watch the snap. It was a mistake. I mean, clearly a mistake of communication between the quarterback and the center, that they had the center had the count wrong. And, boy, credit Thomas Camella for getting all the way back and diving on it. Third down and a long way to go.
Yes, sir. It's the ball now back to about the 17-yard line.
Oh, and they jumped. So back them up another 5. So
back to the 12-yard line.
This is going to be about 3rd and 43.
Wow.
3rd and 43, I think.
We've got about 6 minutes to go here in the first half. 14-6. Hendricken leading North Kingstown. Bishop Hendricken, the private school here in Warwick, Rhode Island, leading the North Kingstown Skippers. Third down, and Emmanuel can't get away from number 76, Dylan Poirier, who wrapped him up. And that'll be fourth down for the Hawks.
Well, Dylan Poirier is an all-state tackle. He's an all-state defensive end. He's a guy that's getting looks from schools like Villanova and Bryant, University of New Hampshire and Lafayette, and you're going to see why. Comes right around Xavier Truss there. Didn't engage him. Just saw the ball in the hands of Emmanuel, kept after him, and boom, drops him for a loss. And that series ends, and North Kingstown is going to go from having really brutal field position to potentially having some great field position. That punt is short.
It bounces at the 34-yard line, and it's a Hendricken roll. And that one will roll out of bounds, and looks like they're going to mark it at about the Hendricken 40-yard line, and that's where North Kingstown will take over with some great field position here.
There are some sequences that when they show up on film, you just don't watch them at all. That's going to be one of them. I mean, that was going along quite well, unless you want to, impose that really one mistake can make things go so far south. I mean, that was 3 plays in a row that go in as a minus after what was a really well-developed drive that was starting. And now North Kingstown again, confidence, life. There's a lot that happens because of it.
All right, Osmanski calling signals. First down, drops back, lets it loose, and intercepted down at the 12-yard line, the far side of the field. It looked like it was Andre De Los Santos who reeled that one in. The receiver on the play, double teamed and out-battled for that ball.
Yeah, Osmanski stood in the pocket. He stood tall. The pocket and the pressure came around him in the pocket, and he threw it right into double coverage. He was looking for Zarella down the left side. You'll see a little bit of push off the middle. There's the contact as he threw the ball. Maybe a little bit underthrown, but into double coverage. And De Los Santos, we've seen a great athlete, good coverage downfield as well by Gobawol. And, gee, look at that. Hendricken's right back where they started.
But with first down now at the 11-yard line. See if they can shake off that last offensive series and get something going here.
Maybe more like right back where they ended than where they started.
Right. And that one goes right up the middle, and big sea of bodies, pickup of about 4 yards on that play. And the lead blocker, of course, the big guy, number 77, Xavier Truss.
Talking to North Kingstown, they knew that this line from Bishop Hendricken was going to be strong. But this was a senior-heavy defensive line that they have that played very well. I mean, Poirier last year, 6 sacks in the Super Bowl win over Moses Brown. Again, a lot of experience there. So this is where it's, again, you reach in and you kind of look at when the fatigue starts to set in, and you have to be mentally tough.
Oh,
that's a drop.
Pass and a drop there by Helio Souza.
So this is where if you're Bishop Hendricken, you've got 3rd and 5. You're trying to extend drives. You're trying to keep this defense on the field. You're faced with a difficult decision. Camella's thrown the ball well. There was a player wide open. It's just a drop. But you also have a running game that can get it going through a lot of different players. So it'll be interesting to see what the coaching staff calls here.
All right, Camella brings him to the line, 3rd down and 5, very deep in Hendricken territory. The ball on the 15-yard line. Camella looking over to the left's going to air it out, and that is incomplete. It was intended for Andres Andujar, and he had a defender right with him, and the ball pretty much overthrown, although Andujar was looking for some sort of a penalty as he bumped into the defender. There's no way he was going to catch up to that ball.
No, it was well overthrown, and kind of an interesting decision to throw the ball downfield 30 yards when you needed 3rd and 5. I was watching the players in the flat because they've done such a nice job on those short passes over the middle and certainly over the hash marks.
All right, so Hendricken will punt it away. And this is a boomer. Out to midfield and fumbled, but picked up and reeled in by number 23. It's Tyler Califan.
And he might have been grabbed by the face mask on his way down. The way that flag came in, I'm wondering if this is going to get a couple of extra yards on this for North Kingstown, or was there some blocking on that far sideline that was out of our range of view? But that flag came in from the far sideline. I think face mask, yeah.
That's the signal from the official. It's a face mask against Bishop Hendricken. So what was good field position gets even better now for North Kingstown as the officials will march that ball down, march off the penalty.
And there's no more 5-yard face mask. That's automatically 15 yards. So you're right, Frank. It was a boomer, and you had good coverage. It was only a 5-yard return, and yet they're still at the 30 with a short field.
So North Kingstown on the Rush again, trailing 14-6. And on first down, back to pass. And the completed pass at the 25-yard line, and rushing down the near sideline is Gabriel Sloat. And he is wrestled out of bounds at the 9-yard line.
This play happens because of a block from the fullback, Brett Maloney. They bring a blitz, does Bishop Hendricken, and Osmanski stands in there. Watch right here, right, bang. He picked up that blitz, and that allowed him to have that extra second to feed Sloat. He gets outside, picks up some great yards after the catch, and they're in the red zone.
First down, man in motion. And it's going to be the quarterback taking it right up the middle and into the end zone. The score by James Osmanski.
Boy, has Bishop Hendricken got themselves to blame in this one. Penalties, they've had about 35 yards of penalties, a couple of turnovers. They weren't able to cash in on the interception that the Skippers gave them a few minutes ago, and Osmanski found himself in a great read. This is a QB read draw. They fake the handoff. He's able to slip around a couple of backs that are coming in, a couple of backers, and again, had a great seam up the middle, finds pay dirt, and they've got a chance to go for two here, do the Skippers, to tie this one at 14, and we've got ourselves a game here, Fred.
All right, the 2-point attempt now. Osmanski wants to pass, and knocked down. Great defensive play there by Hendricken's number 24, Andre De Los Santos.
We've called his name a lot. He is just a terrific athlete, great nose for the ball, seems to have a really nice read on the quarterback when they go his way. I'm watching him there. He's going for a quick splash of water, but watch again. Osmanski looks right, never really checks off, so De Los Santos is able to see it all the way, and he doesn't swat a hand at that. Slope is open. He had some separation, but good read on the zone there to get that extra step and just swat the ball down.
Hey, we got a heck of a ball game going here in Warwick, Rhode Island between Bishop Hendricken and North Kingstown. 14-12 now. The Hawks holding on to the lead here as we tick the clock off as we get a little bit closer to halftime. 3:25 to go before the break.
And I got to say, I'm really impressed with the poise that North Kingstown showed. It was 14-0, and the wheels were coming off. I mean, a 90-yard drive, a blocked punt. The defense was not getting much of a push, and the offense was in really tough shape. And they've made a game of this.
There's the kickoff, very deep, reeled in at the 4-yard line. Up the middle, over the 20, and then dropped at the 21-yard line. Well, in my conversation with North Kingstown head coach Joe Gilmartin leading up to this one, I said, are you worried at all about your team being intimidated or overwhelmed by the fact that they're facing Bishop Hendricken, a public school, North Kingstown, against a private school, Bishop Hendricken? And he said, no, I don't think it's that way at all. I think these kids feel like they belong and that they can compete with these guys, and they've certainly proved that here in the first half.
Well, it's been a long time. They haven't played in 7 years, but one thing North Kingstown has on their side, not that Hendricken does not, because this is a pedigree here unlike no other in the Ocean State. It's been a long time since North Kingstown's lost a game. This team has known success, and they've known how to dig deep when they've had to over the last couple or 3 seasons, for sure.
Pickup of about 4 yards on first down for the Hendricken Hawks, as the ball now spotted on the 27-yard line. Yeah, it's been a while since North Kingstown has lost. They have a 16-game win streak that dates back into season before last. 2016, I believe it was, November of 2016, the last time they lost a game. So
the mirror image of the Cleveland Browns is what you're telling me.
Right. Here on second down, up the middle, and that is going to be very close to first down yardage.
I think the craziest statistic I saw this week in lieu of the Browns' victory was that if Hugh Jackson went undefeated over the next 60 games, he could tie Bill Belichick's win percentage, which is pretty close to Keith Krab's win percentage. That's even better.
Well, the Browns went into that game against the Jets favored, which is it's the first time in forever that the Browns were actually favored to win a game. So they were expected to win going into the game, and then they came through. So It was crazy to see the reaction there of the Cleveland fans who have been certainly tortured for so long. They're going to do a little measurement here, see how close we are to a first down. And they're going to stretch this one out.
He's going to get it.
Yeah, I think that's good.
By a lace. Or thereabouts, but a third of a football. Clock not really a factor yet. 2 minutes and 15 seconds. A lot of time left in the first half. Keep in mind, North Kingstown received the opening kickoff, so Hendricken will get the ball to start the second half.
The clock approaching 2 minutes to go in the first half. And first down for the Hawks. And the handoff. Manuel up the middle. And he gets stopped, but then picks up a couple more yards. A pickup of about 5 yards on the play.
You know, Frank, that's the 7th or 8th time you've said that on first down, that the Hawks have been able to get a push and had a 5 or 6 yard pickup on first down. They've had a lot of 2nd and 5s, a lot of 2nd and 4s, and it's a real credit to the workhorseness of these running backs.
Hand off around the left side and drop for a loss is Ethan Worster.
And that's how you wrap a guy up.
All right, we've got some halftime activities of our own coming up. At halftime, we've got here on Game Time a feature on Bishop Hendricken tackle Xavier Truss. We'll catch up with Hendricken principal Mark DeCiccio, plus highlights and stats from the first half. All right, third down now for Hendricken. Back to pass. Camella now chased out of the pocket. Still looking, lets it fly, and it's complete.
Held on to the ball.
What a great reception by number 24, Andre De Los Santos, and boy, he paid the price for that reception.
That's a buddy pass, we'd call it, and get your buddy killed. He got clobbered. Good job by the defense following him, but Camella locks in downfield, and bang. Camella lowers his shoulder right into the hip. Lowering the shoulder. What a hit.
Wow. So that gets Hendricken into North Kingstown territory. The play action now. Camella looking, scrambling, looks downfield, and in and out of the hands of one receiver and into another. That one is reeled in by Jordan Robbins.
That's what you call Johnny on the spot. Jordan Robbins was not the intended receiver. There was decent coverage on the initial receiver. Robbins had checked in when De Los Santos had gone out after that hit. And he was able to keep his feet in bounds, walk the tightrope, pick up a couple extra yards just for good measure.
Just the way they drew it up.
Absolutely.
All right, picks up another first down and a timeout called by North Kingstown here as they're trying to slow down this Hendricken Hawks machine as they march closer to another score here with 25 seconds to go in the first half.
You need to rest those defensive linemen. They've been putting some high-speed pursuit on the quarterback, Camella, but unfortunately came up empty. I mean, you saw Poirier jiving at the ankles. He was able to elude the grasp was the quarterback, extend the play by another couple of seconds on the previous play on the throw to De Los Santos, and then on that more recent play, just able to find some separation where those receivers on the near sideline.
Well, you can see Poirier there, number 76, taking a few deep breaths now as he tries to catch his breath in the final important 25 seconds here of the first half with Hendricken ahead 14-12 and heading towards another touchdown.
Well, the linemen for North Kingstown have gotten a really great push at times here. We've seen some tackles in the backfield, 6 tackles for a loss. This is where Hendricken has been very good. First down, moving the football, getting positive yardage, and setting things up for 2nd and 3rd and short.
All right, 1st and 10, 25 seconds to go in the first half, and the pass over the middle is in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Andres Andujar.
And Bishop Hendricken and their quarterback, they wanted a roughing the passer call there as he took some contact, but it was literally within a step was the defensive lineman as Camella released that football. It was close for sure, but they wanted the call.
All right, 2nd down and 10 now. Again, the ball spotted on the North Kingstown 31-yard line, and 20 seconds to go in the half. Camella back to pass, looking down, and again looking for Andujar, but overthrown and incomplete. The clock stopped with 16 seconds to go.
Andujar's a big target, listed at 6'1", and he was open in that situation. Ball was a little bit high, maybe a half of a step behind him as well. Now, very quickly to third down. I like the rhythm that the Hawks have, though. They're not wasting much time, but this is an important play. I'm sure they're in 4-down territory, particularly with only 15 seconds left, 16 seconds left.
Timeout, North Kingstown. And they'll give those defensive linemen there a bit of a rest here.
You know, Hendricken's done a nice job of finding those split end passes. They've used the flat. They've gone downfield. This is where you're telling your defensive backs, keep them in front of you, and you're telling your line, get a push. But if they're in front of you, wrap them up. Keep them in bounds, wrap them up. I know Hendricken still has a timeout. And if you're Bishop Hendricken, you got some decisions to make. I mean, do you look at a guy like De Los Santos, who's had such quick hands to the ball, or do you take your chance with a guy like Emmanuel, who we've seen is a very slippery runner, very elusive?
It's interesting, the play calling and the as we listen in on the middle here.
It is slide. Post. Coach, empty tray right. Coach, it is slide. You just said slide.
I don't have my playbook on me, but they want to make sure they don't turn the ball over here, and they're keeping an eye on how many men are in the box. Because if a linebacker slides, that means a wideout could be open.
All right, we'll see what happens here. Third down, final seconds of the first half, and over the middle and incomplete. Again, Andujar, the intended receiver, and it's interesting with so little time left that they're deciding to go over the middle. I mean, if he is able to catch that ball, he's going to be touchdown. Hendricken does have one timeout left, but you hope that the kids are of a mind to do that quickly. Otherwise, the first half is going to run out, and your opportunity to score is gone.
Now it's 4th and 10, and
now you just air it out here.
Yeah, you're probably looking for the end zone. 12 seconds, and you might have 2 plays if you can get out of bounds.
There it is in the end zone, and knocked away. Nice play by, is that?
I think it's the 3, Matt Riley.
Matt Riley came across the end zone and knocked that ball away.
Yeah, he was making nothing pretty there. Again, the job of the defensive backs in a situation like that is just release the foot, get the football, knock it down. Just knock it down. Don't do anything silly. Don't do anything where you catch it, maybe drop it and turn it back over. Heady play.
All right, North Kingstown taking over here with just 4 seconds to go, trailing by 2 points.
Yeah, they're going to take a knee. And you got to imagine, after going down 14-0, this half's been a bit of a victory for the Skippers. I don't want to say they're taking all the momentum into halftime, but I don't know that anybody, after it was 14-0, expected it to be 14-12.
If nothing else, the Skippers are definitely encouraged by their performance here in the first half. We've got one half down and one exciting half to go here in Warwick, Rhode Island. Bishop Hendricken leading North Kingstown at the break, 14-12. More halftime activities coming up on Your View right after
this. Game time high school football action on Your View is brought to you by Navigant Credit Union, serving members since 1915. With Navigant Credit Union, getting great rates has never been so easy. Just visit a Navigant Credit Union branch or navigantcu.org to learn more. For a high school football live streaming, behind-the-scenes coverage, and more, check out yourview.com.
As a new member of Navigant Credit Union, you're going to get all kinds of benefits and great offers, like our Journey Rewards checking account with one of the highest interest rates around and no monthly charges or ATM fees. But we like to think the best thing we offer is Andy, Katie, Zach and Amanda, and all the people of Navigant Credit Union right by your side. Stop by one of our new branches to say hi. Navigant Credit Union.
Drone Racing League pilot Wild Willie is testing his skills on the scariest course imaginable. His mom's house. Fortunately, he's using panoramic Wi-Fi from Cox, because even a 1-second delay could mean trouble for everyone. Wall-to-wall fast panoramic Wi-Fi from Cox. Wi-Fi at the speed of flight.
Buy brand new movies instantly with the new Contour from Cox.
Owen!
Back for more, huh?
Run! I have to see this.
Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. Purchase movies and TV shows right from your remote. Download them to go and watch anywhere, anytime on your mobile devices. Start building your digital video library now.
You're watching Game Time on YourView. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out YourView.com.
So I started playing football when I was probably around 5 years old because I was getting tired of playing soccer. When I was in 6th grade, I was playing up with 8th graders.
Definitely in 8th grade, playing football with your friends, it's a fun time, it's a game, nothing serious. When you come to Hendricken, football is your life. If you're not putting 100% of what you have into the team, then you're not playing Hawk football the right way.
I first saw him when he was a freshman, and first reactions when you see someone like Xavier is, wow, that's a big boy. That was a pleasant surprise to see.
Number 77, Xavier Truss. Big boy, 6'4", over 300 pounds.
6'5", 6'8". I mean, he's all of that.
Yeah. Xavier realized that, if he put his mind to it and he decided he was going to move the kid in front of him from point A to point B against his will, and the joy that he got out of doing that.
Touchdown, Hendricken.
Being able to, pick somebody up and put him somewhere else and get away with it, not having to face consequences for it.
When I saw that light go on for him, that's probably my favorite moment.
He's definitely developed his aggression and using his size much better than when I had first started playing with him.
His junior season, things started to pick up, and once he started getting interest from colleges and things, he kind of recognized that, hey, I've got some potential here.
Quiddy's recruitment kind of helped me, realize that I could actually do something.
Guys like Kwity Paye, who's now at Michigan playing football.
Quiddy's just a beast at DN, and now Quiddy's at Michigan playing football.
As a coach, you can look and see the potential in someone like Xavier, and they don't necessarily believe what an adult tells them until he started seeing interest from other colleges and things, and he said, hey, there might be some truth to this. I need to step up my game.
I've been talking to Michigan with Quiddy, but that was through Quiddy, so Penn State really came for me. So that was pretty much my first in college that was interested in me, and then the offer started to pick up after the combine. I've been to visit Alabama, Clemson, Georgia, and Auburn. Those are the southern schools I've seen, and I've seen Penn State, Michigan, Ohio State. I definitely need to, be stronger than my competition, and, just be the most competitive person that I can be, because it's going to be a lot different going to college ball.
He moves very, very well. He's a good pass blocker. He can run block. He's coachable. He's a great kid. He's got athleticism, and obviously the size at 6'8", 350 pounds doesn't hurt.
I think it's going to come down to where I feel comfortable playing, and where I'm comfortable around the people around me, because those are the people I'm going to be with, for the next 4 years of my life. So it comes down to the people.
Buy brand new movies instantly with the new Contour from Cox.
Owen!
Back for more, huh?
Run! I have to see this.
Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. Purchase movies and TV shows right from your remote. Download them to go and watch anywhere, anytime on your mobile devices. Start building your digital video library now.
Hey, Mr. Thompson, you know how you were so mad about going over on your mobile data plan? Well, we're Cox customers, and this is one of over 500,000 Cox hotspots, totally included in most Cox internet packages. Look, go to your mobile settings, click on Cox Wi-Fi, then plug in your Cox username and password, and then you're on Wi-Fi. And you could, like, stream that video of my band, literally no problem.
Find free hotspots because you're a Cox high-speed internet customer. Cox.com/learn.
Buy brand new movies instantly with the new Contour from Cox.
In 3.5 weeks, the Met will be hosting its annual ball, and we are going to rob it. $16.5 million in each of your bank accounts.
Game on. Why do you need to do this? Because it's what I'm good at.
Ocean's 8. Purchase movies and TV shows right from your remote. Download them to go and watch anywhere, anytime on your mobile devices. Start building your digital video library now.
Jeanette, you know how during our date, we couldn't remember the name of that show we both liked. We're Cox customers. We can find it on Contour. Last 9 viewed. My grandkids are here. Home improvement shows. More like this. We liked House Hunters. That's the name of it.
Grandpa, you have a girlfriend?
We're not using labels.
That's a yes.
Watch more, search less, because you're a Cox customer. Cox.com/learn.
Game Time Player of the Game is brought to you by Navigant Credit Union. With Navigant Credit Union, getting great rates has never been so easy. Just visit a Navigant Credit Union branch or navigantcu.org to learn more.
Back at the half, delighted to be joined by the principal of Bishop Hendricken High School, Mark DeCiccio. And first of all, starting your second year, and as an alum of the school, it's going to be pretty special.
It's an extremely great privilege and honor to be here. Pleasure to be here.
Thank you. And obviously, there's been a lot of excitement, as there is at the start of any school year. Talk a little bit about the excitement that started down here in Warwick for fall of 18.
So in 2018, I was awarded First Year Principal of the Year. And I'm excited to bring those skills and programs, including the Distributive Executive Clubs of America, DECA, Cyber Patriots, and a revamp of our programming, coding clubs. We're very excited to explore the opportunity to code a supercomputer at URI. Also, our theater program, Arts Academy, had an amazing performance. Urinetown over the summer, hysterical performance. They're now casting for the Hunchback of Notre Dame.
As you look around the opportunities that you have here at Bishop Hendricken, it builds off of a great family community, the alumni community, and a real tradition of giving back.
So our current alumni are doing amazing things. First, I want to give a huge shout out to the McManus brothers, 2005 graduates who were just nominated for an Emmy. Quiddy Pay, 2017 graduate, is lighting it up for the Michigan Wolverines. Tom Pannone, MLB, Toronto Blue Jays, class of 2012. Michael King, class of 2013, playing for the New York Yankees farm team. We know he'll be in the big soon.
Well, one of the other pieces I think that's important is the next generation of Hendricken. You guys are always looking forward.
So in 2018, talk about a return on your investment. $6.3 million our seniors recorded with a 4-year value of $25.2 million.
It's incredible. Well, congratulations on a great start to the year. Best of luck with all these initiatives, and thanks for being with us. We'll be right back.
Jeanette, you know how during our date, we couldn't remember the name of that show we both liked. We're Cox customers. We can find it on Contour. Last 9 viewed. My grandkids are here. Home improvement shows. More like this. We liked House Hunters. That's the name of it.
Grandpa, you have a girlfriend?
We're not using labels.
That's a yes.
Watch more, search less, because you're a Cox customer. Cox.com/learn.
Buy brand new movies instantly with the new Contour from Cox.
Welcome to Atlanta. We've got everything you could ever want. But if you look deeper, there's a whole other side you've never seen before. Welcome to my world. But if you can play the game by your own rules and win, that's Superfly.
Superfly. Purchase movies and TV shows right from your remote. Download them to go and watch anywhere, anytime on your mobile devices. Start building your digital video library now.
With Cox high-speed internet, you get access to super-fast in-home Wi-Fi to power all your devices and do the things you love online. And now, when you're traveling, you have free access to the nation's largest Wi-Fi network with over 500,000 hotspots, so you can stay connected in places such as New York City, Los Angeles, Washington, D.C., Phoenix, and many more. Learn how with the Cox Discover More video series at cox.com/learn.
Hey, Mr. Thompson, you know how you were so mad about going over on your mobile data plan? Well, we're Cox customers. And this is one of over 500,000 Cox hotspots, totally included in most Cox internet packages. Look, go to your mobile settings, click on Cox Wi-Fi, then plug in your Cox username and password, and then you're on Wi-Fi. And you could, stream that video of my band, literally no problem.
Find free hotspots because you're a Cox high-speed internet customer. Cox.com/learn.
Welcome back to Game Time on Your View. Frank Carpano, Mike Rubin here as Bishop Hendricken leads North Kingstown at the half, 14-12, and what was a very exciting first half of play. Let's take a look at some of the highlights.
Yeah, Bishop Hendricken got it going early with their defense. The blocked punt, doink, and in goes Shane Fernandez. Picked it up, was able to keep his knee from touching the turf. Get another look at it here. Just a great surge forward, and the Hendricken Hawks jumped out to an early 7-0 lead after the point after. Got the ball back quickly, 92-yard drive capped on a 30-yard QB bootleg around end around right, 30 yards for Camella, and just like that, the Hawks found themselves up by 2 scores, 14-0, and they seem to be riding all the momentum. Skippers came right back, quick touchdown pass there by Osmanski. He finds Zarella in the corner of the end zone. Missed point after, it's 14-6. Skipper's defense started to play a little better. The interception gave them the ball back. Unfortunately, just a couple of plays later, this ball picked off, and just like that, the Hawks seem to be trying to get back the momentum. However, the defense held for the Skippers. A couple plays later, Osmanski goes up the gut, runs it in, and we've got ourselves a 14-12 game at the half, and you see the numbers there. Good rushing yards for the Hawks, a little more balance from the Skippers.
All right, the second half is coming up on Game Time. Hendricken leading North Kingstown. Third quarter coming up after this.
You've got a whole lot to keep up with, and that doesn't even include shopping around for rates on CDs. But as a new member of Navigant Credit Union, you can breathe a little easier knowing you can get 2.50% APY for 13 months with just a minimum deposit of $500. Stop by one of our new branches to learn more. You know, when you've got some free time.
Congratulations! Bob Eubanks, what are you guys doing here?
Hi there, I'm Bob Eubanks on behalf of the Tax Defense Group, and Albert had a big problem with the Internal Revenue Service.
Back in 2010, I had a bad separation from my business partner, and I basically left my business with a lot of debt in regards to taxes. It was a trying time, and I just needed someone on my side. Where they weren't willing to understand from my voice, they were willing to understand from
the Tax Defense Group.
Absolutely.
Hey, if you owe the IRS more than $10,000 and you've got unfiled tax returns, then you better call my friends at the Tax Defense Group. I mean, who knows? We might come to your house.
That's right, Bob. Call the Tax Defense Group to see if you qualify for tax relief.
Call 800-218-8348. That's 800-218-8348.
Watch the newest movies instantly with Movies on Demand from Cox.
What's it like sailing out there all alone?
It's a feeling I can't describe. Will you sail around the world with me?
Bon voyage! Should we be worried?
Get below!
I'm not leaving you!
Get below now!
Oh my God!
Adrift. Movies on Demand from Cox. Just go to Channel 1 and choose all new movies.
You're watching Game Time on Your View. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out yourview.com.
Back to Warwick, Rhode Island, as we're getting ready for second half play here. Bishop Hendricken High School with a 14-12 lead over North Kingstown. And the Skippers will kick this one off to get the third quarter underway. Frank Carpano along with Mike Rubin on a beautiful night for high school football here. About 15 minutes outside of the capital city of Providence, Rhode Island. And the kick is away, a little bit short, and picked up and now run up the right side. And for Hendricken, That is number 2, Helio Souza, and he is dropped. And Hendricken will go on offense here to start the third quarter. We would like to welcome third man in the booth now, Kyle Rowley. Nice to see you. Bishop Hendricken grad, 1997, then went on to play quarterback at Brown University in 14 years in the Arena Football League. And now we're going to step right up here and let everybody see you.
Hey,
there you go.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, well, you have an opportunity to come back a lot to see your alma mater play football?
I do. This is my first game this year. I've got a lot of clients around the state, but I'm always happy to come back to Hendricken and see some football.
And what are you doing now?
Right now, I'm training quarterbacks privately around the state and around Massachusetts full time. I actually worked with Tom Camella, Hendricken's quarterback. Got a chance to start as a sophomore, which is always a big opportunity.
Well, here's a stat for you from the first half. The rushing leaders for each team, the quarterback.
Yeah, yep.
Did you run a lot when you were quarterback here at Hendricken?
They didn't throw it as much back when I was here. We ran the triple option almost exclusively, which was tough on me because I really did want to throw the ball. But they've got a different offense out here today. Coach Panaleo's done a great job putting more of a passing attack in.
Now you say you worked with Camella, the quarterback for the Hawks, as we look at the first down and 10 here, and a handoff for the Hawks, and up over the 50-yard line and into North Kingstown territory. For the Hawks goes Israel Emanuel. So big pickup there and first down for Hendricken as they move into the skipper's territory.
Yeah, Tom and I started working together about a year ago, and he's made great strides. He's such a natural athlete already, but the quarterback position is an unnatural position to learn. You're shuffling back sideways with guys trying to take your head off and keep your eyes downfield.
First down and 10, the ball on the North Kingstown 37-yard line here. And the Hawks, Camella, going to keep it himself, goes up the left side and picks up a couple of yards on the play. Well, one of the other things you're doing is you've got a combine that you, along with Will Blackman, another Hendricken grad who went to Boston College and then played for many years in the NFL. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, Hendricken was gracious enough to host us. Will and I decided to put together something where kids in Rhode Island could get seen by these colleges in the Northeast, and had a great showing, had 100-plus kids out this year. Where's it on? And, so, it was Will's vision to kind of give back to the community and give these kids an opportunity. A lot of people are overlooking Rhode Island athletes, and we want to make a change.
Israel Emanuel there, not picking up any yards. Going to be third down coming up here for the Hawks, and that is an opportunity that you give kids that you didn't have when you were here.
Yeah, I can remember. I mean, me and Will both have very similar stories coming out of high school. It's like, if you didn't have a father that wasn't aware that he has to drive you around the Northeast to camps that are, a state away, then you're not going to get a look by these colleges. So we want to bring that atmosphere to Rhode Island, give these guys a chance to show what they have in their own backyard.
So a fumbled snap and flags fly, and it looks like it's going to be a holding call as Camella tries to make something out of nothing, and it's going to be holding against Hendricken, and that ball will be coming back. Mike, here's another look at this.
Yeah, the snap came in a tough spot. He's rolling left, and there's the hold right there. Anytime you get the hands up around the shoulder pads and you see the jersey jerking back, it's a pretty easy call for the official to make.
Well, it's got to be very satisfying. How many years have you been doing the combine?
This was our first this is our inaugural year, and it went great. We had great numbers, great showing. In fact, guys were getting recruited on the day. Like,
nice.
Coaches are making offers. I remember kicker. He made 3 kicks. They said, we already want him.
Huh.
So you know what? A lot of guys keep their eyes on all these D1 programs, but there's so many more spots when you think about the D2s and the D3s. So we got a lot of those schools to come out and recruit kids right here on this field.
Third down and long now for Hendricken from their own 46-yard line. Camella looking to pass over the middle, and he's got a receiver. And reeling it in is number 24, Andre De Los Santos, and he's trying to break away from a tackler. Picks up some big yardage, but still going to be short of a first down.
Talk about making something out of nothing, Frank. That was a spot foul, which made it third and really long, third and about 24. And he got taken down. A little bit of hurt for the effort, but watch the second effort from De Los Santos. He goes airborne, comes down, and then 1, 2, 3, and finally the fourth tackler brings him down. A little slow getting up.
This right here is a lot of what Tom's gotten better at. He's great at getting out of the pocket naturally, but to have the patience to stay in there, stay patient, and throw an anticipation throw on that dig is a lot of what we work on.
We also have a flag down, so waiting the call on a penalty as well. De Los Santos still on the field, and the trainers caring for him.
I'm not sure what the call is. They're talking it over with the Hendricken bench. Looked like his ankle got rolled up underneath him when he came down. It was a tough angle for us to see.
Yeah, I think that the guy who tackled him grabbed him by the foot and then may have twisted as he hit the ground.
He's a speedy guy, and you hate to see that for any player, but he's been an integral part of this attack, and you can see he is in a lot of hurt as the senior. You can see it in his face.
Can't even put any weight on that.
No, that's
that left foot.
If he puts weight here right in this first step, it's a good sign usually, but it doesn't look like he wants to.
Yeah. No, there.
It's unfortunate.
Well, we still have the flag to sort out on top of it, and he's not able to really put any weight on that.
It's like either foot.
Yeah, it looks like both feet are.
Yep. He might be cramping. Sometimes that's what's going on. He might be cramping in both calves, and hopefully that's the case.
He's been logging a lot of miles, a lot of hard miles.
You see your teammates getting carried off? Gotta wait for the referee's whistle.
All right, they'll bring him over to the trainer's table here and see what's going on with him as we now come back to the line of scrimmage. It's 4th down and 6 now for Hendricken. They're going to run a play. Camella dropping back, looking right, and the pass is short, and they'll turn the ball over on downs.
Looked like a miscommunication with the wide receiver. He was throwing that ball to a spot, and the wideout was still running downfield.
Back to your combine with Will Blackman. It's got to be satisfying to see kids come in, be seen by college recruiters, and then recruited. I mean, that's where the satisfaction has got to come for you.
100%. You know, we ran myself and Terrence Turner ran a showcase in December, directly following the season, and that was the first real recruiting camp I'd done. And I thought I just need to put these athletes in the same room with these college coaches, and things will happen. But it's one thing to say it, and it's another thing to see it happen. Because once the day happens, you have to step back and allow them to play and allow the coaches to interact with them. And the formula seems to be working.
All right, first down play for North Kingstown, and a completed pass to number 3, Matt Riley. And Riley with a grab and then picks up a few extra yards. He gets into Hendricken territory. First down, and the ball spotted now on the Hendricken 46-yard line.
A good job here by Osmanski. Gets some good protection, releases the ball, and a little bit behind and low, but Riley was able to go down, gobble it up, and Hendricken's at a little bit of a disadvantage here without De Los Santos, who's been one of their best cover backs. I'd expect North Kingstown to try and go after him through the air show.
And we've got a flag and a play blown dead here. So your combine, any position, or do you specialize in certain positions?
I specialize in training quarterbacks. So what I'll do at the combine is I'll train the quarterbacks, but it's all positions. So we bring in former college and former pro players that live in the area or that live in Massachusetts, Connecticut, and we just try to put a great coaching staff together to give these guys the subtleties of playing at the next level. But at the same time, I tell them, coach them and then throw them in the fire, because these college coaches want to see what they can do already, you know, if they've already been training. So it's a little mix of both.
All right, on first down and 5, loose ball, and that's going to be Hendricken ball. So North Kingstown turning the ball over inside of Hendricken territory, and the Hawks are going to take over on offense.
It's a great script. Great job on the pursuit on the back hip of the quarterback. He was tucking that ball to run it like a running back end around, and I don't know that he had any sense that there was this pursuit coming on his back hip, and he tucked it to his right. Good job by the 40. Second time that Evan Rinaldi's gotten himself involved and just kind of reached in and gave it a little bit of a punch. It was kind of jostling around as he moved it from his left arm to his right arm, and that's how you stop a drive if you're the Hendricken defense.
We're joined with from Kyle Rowley, is a 1997 Bishop Hendricken grad, went on to play quarterback at Brown University and then spent 14 seasons in the Arena Football League. Here on first down, Hendricken now. Here's a sweep coming around to the right. It's number 17, Olaswazin Filloy picks up about 5 yards on the play. I know you here at Hendricken and then at Brown. Did you play with your brothers?
I did. Mostly my brother Travis. He's a year younger than me. We're Irish twins, and I got to play with him here for a couple varsity seasons. I played quarterback, and I was tossing the option pitches to him. Travis then shifted to wide receiver at Brown and got to throw about 20 balls to him every game. So that was I know that's a unique experience. But actually, that's all I was used to my whole life is throwing to my brother. So got a chance to continue it over to Brown.
A little shake and bake move there by Camella. Did you teach him that?
I didn't. We do some drills where we work on elusiveness, but he's got much more natural elusiveness than I ever had. He's a great athlete. Both him and his brother, great athletes. His brother had a great day at our combine this summer as well. One of the best, I think, shuttle times of the day. In fact, the college coaches came over when he posted his time. So obviously a good pairing.
First down and 10 inside North Kingstown territory, and it's Camella again going up the middle, and he is rudely greeted by a member of the North Kingstown defense. That is number 69, Ephraim Graham, who stops him. But a pickup of 2 for the Hawks. He's second down and 8.
Hendricken doing what a lot of these teams are doing in the modern age is making these defenses stay patient and play the entire field with these run pass options and these option handoffs.
All right, Camella now from the shotgun. Drops back, looking long.
Good timing.
And almost intercepted. That pass was intended for Andres Andujar, but the defender who jumped up and almost caught it was Gabriel Sloat. Went step for step with him there.
One of the things we talk about is how a well-timed ball, even if it's not a good ball, you'll avoid the interception here, right? So this ball came out of his hand on time. He definitely could have made a better throw, but he doesn't pay the ultimate price because he got that ball out of his hands on time.
All right, so third down and 8 for the Hawks here on the 43-yard line. Scrambling, and then the pitch. And around the left side goes Israel Emanuel, and he is dropped for a loss. So it'll be fourth down, and Hendricken will be punting it away. So only a junior is the quarterback, Camella. Where do you project him going as it gets to a senior year and then eventually heading off to college?
I think Tom's a guy that would like to play college football. Obviously, he's undersized, but so was I, and so have a lot of guys. The thing that helps an undersized guy is when you can start in high school for 3 years, because the college will start to take notice if you win a couple championships, if you post some career stats. So that's what he's got working for him. I'd like to see him attack the line of scrimmage a little bit more right there on that option. Take one and then get the ball out of his hands.
All right, the punts and the fair catch is called. And that was reeled in by number 23, Tyler Califan. And it'll be first down for North Kingstown. You and so many others are a great example of the great training that you get here, both academically and athletically. Quiddy Pay, who graduated and is at Michigan. Xavier Truss, who is verbally has committed to Georgia. Will Blackman, of course, who played at Boston College and then many years in the NFL, and yourself at Brown and then on to the Arena League. Can you talk a little bit about the experience of playing here at Hendricken?
Yeah, I think it was such a blessing in my life, and I didn't even know what Hendricken was before I was parroting that I was going there in junior high. My dad told me I was going there, and so I was telling my friends before I even realized that was a prep high school. So, but what they do here that's great is they take their sports very seriously. So I felt like I was already in a college environment where school and academics is taken very seriously, but as athletics is as well. And I think that prepared me a lot to play at those next levels.
Second down and 4 for North Kingstown. And the handoff up the middle, and that's going to be good enough for first down, but we have a flag down on the field.
Yeah, it looked like on the near side, some shenanigans. James Gobawol and I want to say Matt Riley got locked up, and Gobawol literally ripped his helmet off, ripped Riley's helmet off. And that's a personal foul in high school football.
So we're going to march off a few more yards here.
I think they just got engaged, and Riley was trying to release back, and he had him by the face mask, and his helmet popped off. And that's a big walk-off.
Yeah, you know, Hendricken's shot themselves in the foot a few times this game, and I think if they just start playing sound ball, North Kingstown's going to have a tough job staying in this game for the entirety.
Osmanski looking, throwing, and that one, a wobbler, falls short of its intended target on that play.
Well, the back judge was reaching to his pocket. I was watching him. He was running across. I thought he was going to pull a flag out, and then, as they've done so often today, they've just let him play.
Yeah, we haven't seen one pass interference call here, which is nice. Keeps things moving. It's game 14-12. Hendricken leading North Kingstown, and 2nd down and 10 from the North Kingstown 43-yard line. And the handoff going up the middle and stopped right at midfield was number 23, Tyler Califan. So it'll be 3rd down coming up here for the Skippers.
You mentioned the flags. I think Hendricken's been flagged, I want to say 5 times for 50 yards. On the other side, I don't think North Kingstown's had a penalty yet. At least if my memory is working correctly.
8 for 30 yards for the Hawks is the official count on penalties. 7.
So this is where, on 4th down midfield, they've got to be prepared for a fake, especially with North Kingstown being down in the game.
It's if they bring out the punter. I'm not sure.
Like they are.
No.
Yep.
Tyler Califan runs in with the play from the sideline, and they're going to go for it here.
I might try and get the defense to jump too. It's 4th and 3. A jump, any kind of contact.
100%. He should use the snap count here for sure.
Going to run a play, and the quarterback trying to pick up the yardage, and he is hit, and he keeps pumping away. And does he pick up enough? It's on the far side of the field.
If he does, it's on the 3rd effort.
Wow.
Because he was hit twice, and then he lunged forward, and he got a good spot. Yeah, he got a 1st down spot from this angle.
Great effort by him.
It's a good spot in everybody's opinion except the North Kingstown coaching staff, based on that expression.
Or they're going to pull this one out, and they've got it. A 1st down for North Kingstown. They'll keep the drive alive.
That's a big play at this juncture of the game.
Yep. End of the 3rd, trailing, keep the drive alive.
And watch, there's a hit, and he gets around that initial tackle, and then he has had a hard time avoiding Evan Rinaldi a couple of times, but that time was able to kind of slip his way back to the right and dart forward for that 1st down.
You can see he had his eye on that 1st down marker, and here's the quarterback again, and he may have picked up a yard on the play, down to about the 45-yard line, where it'll be 2nd down.
Kyle, as a quarterback, you sometimes see these matchups evolve. This middle linebacker versus quarterback matchup here, Rinaldi for Hendricken and Osmanski for, it's been a battle.
Yeah, sometimes there's just times where the blocking scheme just lines up so that you're hitting the same guy over and over every play, and it's tough to shake his hand after the game because he's been knocking you out so much.
All right, 2nd down and 10 for North Kingstown. And the handoff right up the right side goes Tyler Califan, and Califan knocked out of bounds inside the 30-yard line at about the 25. So a nice run there by North Kingstown.
Yeah, diminutive running back is Califan. Gives you a little bit of a different look than some of these bigger guys. And you see there's a nice block by the fullback again, and then he slips past that little draw back to his left, and then he gets outside again a couple yards after the initial and secondary contact.
1st down and 10, the quarterback with the keeper, and he takes it about 5 yards to the 20-yard line. So North Kingstown keeps it moving.
North Kingstown with these straight quarterback draws or quarterback runs, what it does to the defense is it adds a blocker, right? So what Hendricken's doing is using the fake to keep them at bay. What North Kingstown's doing, adding a blocker by keeping the ball in the quarterback's hands. So that's why they're knocking off 4 yards a clip here.
2nd down and 5. Man in motion, Osmanski, and the handoff again goes to Califan, and it doesn't go anywhere on that. In fact, he loses a couple of yards.
Flag comes in very late from one of the back judges, and that came in well after the contact. I'm wondering, usually you see that after the play. It's unnecessary roughness. It's something. It's a personal foul. Yeah, that's going against Hendricken. Yeah, it was so late, the flag. And Keith Croft, he's not happy about it. He's not admonishing the officials. You'll watch. I mean, it squanders a great defensive play. I mean, it's a great push. Nobody picked up on the block, and then I'm not sure what happened afterwards. It couldn't have been on the tackle. And based on that angle, it didn't look like it was the tackle.
If that is unsportsmanlike, that's kind of been the story of the game here. I feel like Hendricken is overpowering them, but shooting themselves in the foot and allowing North Kingstown to really stay in this game.
Well, the penalty produces a 1st down, and the ball now spotted on the 14-yard line. North Kingstown still on the move, and back to pass in the end zone and overthrown. So an incomplete pass will bring up 2nd down.
Well, and that's Donovan Carr, the quarterback. It looks like Osmanski is on the sideline getting tended to by the training staff. So Donovan Carr, the sophomore, talk about off the bench and into the fire as a sophomore. Likely this is his first varsity action of the season, as far as you and I know, Frank.
Yeah, baptism under fire.
I mean, I'm sure he got in late in the game against Portsmouth, but that was a game that was well out of hand. Very different situation than this.
Carr, the handoff, and then it's number 23, Califan, running up the left side, and he'll pick up a few yards. It'll be 3rd down coming up for the Skippers.
Now, this is where you tell your quarterback, run the play, put it in the hands of your playmakers, and don't turn it over.
Yeah. You know, that last throw, not the worst throw in the world. What'll happen is a lot of these NFL quarterbacks are throwing these back shoulder throws when you've got man-to-man, press coverage with the DB's eyes on the receiver. But it takes a lot of timing and a lot of practice in order to execute that. And those NFL players have that time, whereas these high school guys, you know what I mean, they don't have as many reps at that skill.
This is third and long from about the 10, it looks like.
The ball spotted on the 10-yard line, man in motion, and we've got a flag in the backfield.
I think it's motion on North Kingstown. I want to say it was on Sloat, who went in motion. He had already set.
In the final minute here of the 3rd quarter, and the score remains 14-12. Bishop Hendricken, the host team, against North Kingstown. So 3rd down and 12 now. Carr leading the offense now for the Skippers. Drops back, looking, fires, and incomplete. A ball intended for number 88, James McGovern.
That's a tough throw to make with that press coverage, like we were saying on the outside. It's much easier to throw it to the outside. For that receiver to cross his face, it's just tough because he's lost on leverage already pre-snap.
Well, they're going to bring out the field goal kicking unit. I want to say Carr is the holder. They brought in Zarella as one of the blockers.
Max Rome
is the kicker.
He's had been coming into this game 12 for 13 on the point after, but missed one earlier.
And timeout to ice the kicker here.
All right, we're going to take a break here in the final seconds of the 3rd quarter. 14-12, Hendricken leading North Kingstown. More in your view coming up after this.
As a new member of Navigant Credit Union, you're going to get all kinds of benefits and great offers, like our Journey Rewards checking account with one of the highest interest rates around and no monthly charges or ATM fees. But we like to think the best thing we offer is Andy, Katie, Zach and Amanda, and all the people of Navigant Credit Union right by your side. Stop by one of our new branches to say hi. Navigant Credit Union.
Kick off the school year right here with Movies on Demand from Cox.
You're running for the Board of Education. I have shoes older than you.
Out with the old, in with the new.
For those about to rock, I salute you.
Are you sure you're 17?
I'm 17. Of course. Waited my whole life to fit in, and I finally feel like I do.
The Back to School Collection, available now on demand.
Drone Racing League pilot Wild Willie is testing his skills on the scariest course imaginable. His mom's house. Fortunately, he's using panoramic Wi-Fi from Cox, because even a 1 second...
3 plays of that drive.
There's a run right up the middle. Go the Hendricken Hawks as Emmanuel takes it for a pickup of about 7 yards, maybe 8. 2nd down and 2.
Wait.
All right, that is the end of the 3rd quarter here in Warwick, Rhode Island, and Bishop Hendricken holding on to a pretty slim 2-point lead, 14-12 with a quarter to go here on Your View.
Gather your friends and family to catch up on all the fall fun with Cox On Demand.
Miguel? I'm gonna be a musician!
Help me follow my dream.
I can help you. Come on! Who's ready to fly? Again!
Did you unlock a book?
Oh no. Reach deep down and let the scary out.
Oh, scary.
Up top. The Fall Fun Collection, now on demand.
With Cox My Account, you can stay on top of things without having to call. Check statements and pay your bill instantly, so nothing gets by you. Keep an eye on the strength of your Wi-Fi and fix issues right under your nose by resetting your modem or set-top box. Even check TV listings. Sign into My Account at Cox.com today, so you never miss a thing.
Buy brand new movies instantly with the new Contour from Cox.
Welcome to Atlanta. We've got everything you could ever want. But if you look deeper, there's a whole other side you've never seen before. Welcome to my world. But if you can play the game by your own rules and win, that's Superfly.
Superfly. Purchase movies and TV shows right from your remote. Download them to go and watch anywhere, anytime on your mobile devices. Start building your digital video library now.
To Bishop Hendricken in Warwick, Rhode Island. The Hawks leading North Kingstown to start the 4th quarter here. And Emmanuel gets the call on 2nd down and 2, and he spins his way to, we'll see where they spot it, but looks like he's got 1st down yardage. Our thanks to Kyle Rowley for joining us there in the 3rd quarter, the Bishop Hendricken grad who, as we mentioned, went on to play quarterback at Brown and then 14 years in the Arena League. And one of the great things is that he had 4 brothers he went to school with and played some football with some of them, and certainly a great career.
Travis was a terrific slot receiver at Brown when Kyle was slinging the ball up there. Bears had some great offenses with him at the helm, that's for sure.
There's the pass to Ethan Worcester over on the left side. And we've got a player down, and it is Xavier Truss who is down on the field. The big guy. Looks like a right leg injury.
Yeah, same ankle he had taped up in the first half. Seems to be causing him some consternation now. I mean, the good news is if you're a Hendricken fan and certainly a fan of football in general, we've seen a couple guys go down and it's turned out to be, more cramping. De Los Santos came off and we saw him go back on in that 3rd quarter. And that's what it looks like there. It looks like a calf cramp, and I'll tell you, those hitch of those Charlie horses, boy, they hurt. And that gives you a sense. It's not hot out there, Frank. No. It's not hot. That should give you a sense as to how hard these young men are playing.
Well, Let's take a closer look here at Xavier Truss moving off the line. See if we can spot maybe a twist of the ankle, but
I think it's just lands and cramps up. When he tries to get up, and cramps are agonizing. He's walking off under his own power, and he's a big boy. That's a lot of lactic acid when you get a cramp and you've got tree trunks like that. He's going to be all right. I'm confident that we're going to see him again.
6'7", 330 pounds. As we mentioned off the top of the show, a verbal commitment to Georgia.
And he's an agile 6'7". He's not one of those guys you just plant there and he can't move. He can boogie. He's a talented young man.
2nd down and 1. And the handoff up the middle, and then for big yardage goes number 8, Israel Emmanuel. Another first down for the Hawks as they go inside of North Kingstown territory.
It's been a long time since the Hawks have found their way to the end zone. They scored the first 2 touchdowns of this game. The block punt was in the first minute, and then 3 minutes later, they ran it in. The defense for North Kingstown has held, but it's also bent a few times. And you got to wonder, at one point, are they going to break? Emmanuel seems poised to really break off a big run. That's his longest of the day, about 14 yards.
As another handoff to Emmanuel, goes the left side on first down. And they are going to spot the ball at about the 40-yard line. So a pickup of 2 or 3. Be 2nd down coming up here for the Hawks.
But the front men for North Kingstown, Giard, Nicholas Iden, Michael Ciernello. We mentioned Graham and Poria earlier. Yeoman's work in the trenches on both sides of the ball, and you got to wonder if they start getting worn down at all. But they have played very hard today.
Another handoff and the ball up the middle, and a pickup of another few yards for Hendricken as the quarterback Tom Camella comes over the side to get the play call here on 3rd down and about 4.
I would think we're in 4-down territory here too, Frank. I'd imagine that they've got this drawn up, expecting to get first down on this 3rd and 4, but see 115 yards passing, 77 rushing yards. Tom Camella has been a huge part of this football game.
Here's Emmanuel trying to find some room, still working. How many white shirts are around him?
He just kept pumping those legs. The defensive line had him wrapped up. He was able, with a second effort, to get forward progress back to the original line of scrimmage. But again, we've got our 4th down, and this is a huge play for this North Kingstown defense. Hendricken really needs to extend the drive if they want to find the end zone for the first time in a long time.
And Hendricken went out 14-0 in this game in the first quarter. Now 14-12. Here on 4th down, the little pitch to Emmanuel, who fumbles, and it's going to be North Kingstown football.
Yeah,
either because of the fumble, or I'm not sure who recovered it, but it doesn't matter. It's either turned over on downs or a fumble recovery. North Kingstown offense in business. And
Emmanuel a little slow getting up as he got pancaked on the near sideline. The option is a high risk, high reward. We hadn't seen them run it in the first half. We've seen them go to the option now twice, and it's actually a North Kingstown player who is down. We'll get another look at it. You see Camella rolling left, didn't get back to too far to the line. The ball comes out, and see where the contact is and who's down. I don't know if it's the 36 or if it was, but all the players taking a knee as the training staff works on Nolan Bush. I think he was the player on the right side of your screen. You saw him kind of jammed up as he went down, trying to pick up that fumble.
Bush back on his feet and headed to the sideline.
Junior is Bush, and we got to take a look. It looks like Osmanski's back on, so he came off. He probably came off at the absolute toughest time of the game. North Kingstown had been driving, and he got a little rattled on that at the tail end of their last drive. And North Kingstown had, was it, 4th down from the 10.
And he's going to keep it here. Osmanski goes up the left side. And on 1st down, he picks up 3 or 4 yards. Ball spotted on the 39-yard line of the Skippers.
Boy, this is shaping up like deja vu all over again for Bishop Hendricken. You mentioned at the top of the broadcast, 7 championships in the last 8 years. The one they lost to LaSalle came in the last minute. I think it was a field goal with less than 40 seconds left.
It was a gutsy call by LaSalle, and we'll tell you all about it right after this play. 2nd down and 7 for North Kingstown.
Was it they could have gone for a conversion, I think, was the story.
Here's a handoff, and around the left side goes Tyler Califan, pushed out of bounds. Well, it was 38 seconds to play. LaSalle trailed by 1, and after a touchdown, the head coach of LaSalle, Martone, gave his players the option PAT or 2 points for the win. So 15-year-old sophomore quarterback Nate Lucier, who scored 20 of his team's 22 points in that game, went in for the 2-point conversion. And LaSalle ends up winning it. So a gutsy call, the coach leaving it up to his players to decide what they wanted to do.
They'll never forget that.
Nope.
And neither, unfortunately, will anyone from Hendricken.
There's a pass on 3rd down and a completion, and good enough for a 1st down as that pass went to Andrew Zarella. So they'll keep the drive alive here as they move the stakes for another 1st down.
It's not a perfectly thrown football, but it gets the job done. Zarella turns, little curl, goes up, catches it. More importantly, maintains possession of the ball as he gets down to the turf. Get ourselves quite a football game here, Frank.
This is fantastic. It really
great
is.
game.
A beautiful night, great game.
Great crowd.
And we've got flags flying here, so we'll see what happens on the what was to be a 1st down play.
Is it a neutral zone infraction of some sort? Yeah. I thought the nose guard was lined up in the neutral zone. Much to his chagrin. Much to the coaching staff's chagrin.
That'll march off an easy 5 yards for North Kingstown. It'll be 1st down and 5 now for the Skippers, with just over 7 minutes to go in the game, and North Kingstown trailing by 2 points.
It'll be the 10th flag of the day against Bishop Hendricken.
The handoff and then the run by Osmanski. Big hit there. They stop him after about a 3-yard pickup.
Interesting decision there by Osmanski. He started going on the went through the hole between the guard and the tackle. I thought he was going to keep going kind of on that diagonal out toward the sideline, and then he curled back. And his second effort diving forward, he picked up an extra yard. I was with you, Frank. I thought it was a gain of 3, and from the way they spotted it, he's going to be close to a 1st down, if not have that 1st down.
The official timeout for the measurements, and you see a nice tight shot there.
Yeah, he's got it.
And he's got it. 1st down for North Kingstown. And 41 yards now away from pay dirt. I can tell you that on the Hendricken side, the stands full of fans who are really getting into this one, and similar on the other side of the field. And there's a handoff up the middle, and that was Gabriel Sloat taking the ball about 4 yards. In fact, fans lining the fence on the outskirts of this field to see tonight's game.
Well, Hendricken's a school of about 900 boys. North Kingstown a little bigger than that, but again, as you said, Frank, they're just down the road. And when you get a night like this and an atmosphere like this, why wouldn't you want to be here?
And if not, we're glad to have you with us on your view. There you see how they're all lined up. 2nd down and 8. And the pitch. And a pickup of about 5 yards for Tyler Califan. 3rd down coming up here for the Skippers.
I've watched football a long time, and that option is so exciting, but if your timing's just a little bit off,
Football's going every which way, but where you want it if you're the coach.
All right, 3rd down and 5. Ball on the 36-yard line. Back to pass and throwing it into traffic. It is incomplete. I think it was initially caught and then dropped by Matt Riley.
Yeah, Riley was not the open receiver, and Osmanski never really checked off to anybody else on the near side. If he had come back right, I think McGovern was left alone because there were 3 guys on the other side of the field. But good decision by the defense of Bishop Hendricken. They marked up exactly who they were supposed to.
So a 4th down play here in the 4th quarter with 5 minutes to play. North Kingstown with the ball and trailing by 2.
This qualifies as a big play.
Absolutely. 4th and 5.
Trips right.
Oh,
this is a Canadian football. You can't do that.
James McGovern
forgot the snap counts or thought he was playing for Edmonton.
They'll march it back 5 yards.
Well, Kyle Riley was out here. Kyle Riley was up here a few minutes ago. Arena football is guys running around everywhere too, but that's my favorite part of Canadian football is that you can run before the ball is snapped. You see guys flying around everywhere.
All right, 4th down and 10 now. Osmanski looking to throw, lets it fly, and out of the reach of its intended receiver, Gabriel Sloats, who had a step on the defense, but the ball overthrown.
Ball overthrown, no flags. Well defended by Bishop Hendricken. They didn't give much of a rush. They wanted to make sure that this one didn't end up behind. Receivers didn't end up behind them, and in fact, well defended. Good play calling by the defense again of Bishop Hendricken.
So Hendricken takes over on downs, the ball on the Hawks 40-yard line.
And interestingly enough, with only 4 or 5 minutes left in this game, possibility is equal that they could run this, try and run this
Absolutely.
clock. The Father Time is much an enemy of the North Kingstown Skippers as this Hendricken attack at this point.
Well, interestingly, Keith Croft, the head coach of the Hawks, told me that in order to win the game, we have to run the ball.
Well,
and that's probably precisely what they're going to do here in the final 4 minutes and leading by 2 points.
Run the ball and value the ball. We see sometimes you get those extra linemen, there's a little bit more contact, and that's going to be an incomplete pass. He had it briefly, did Ethan Worster, but then it popped out. Just enough for it to be considered a fumble. An incomplete pass and not a fumble, which actually stops the clock. I'm sure Bishop Hendricken would have been fine with it being ruled a pass, completion, a drop, and then a pickup and a tackle, because that would keep the clock going.
Right. 4:06 left to play in this game.
And we come to yet another big play.
3rd down and 7. 2 wideouts to the left, 1 to the right. And the handoff goes to Emmanuel. And he's not going anywhere. Picks up maybe a yard, and that brings up 4th down.
Yeah, this is a good punt team, though, that Hendricken has. We've seen a couple of boomers. We saw one that was probably one they'd want back, but watching this special teams game, Cole Peterson, the punter, the junior, he's got a big leg. And North Kingstown's bringing the house. They have nobody deep. They're going to try and block this kick.
There's the snap and just gets away. And this ball will bounce at the 20 and down to the 10 and fielded. They're going to let it roll and then touched by William Tuttle down inside the 10-yard line. And that is where North Kingstown will try and mounts a comeback here in the final 3 minutes, 17 seconds.
Don't discount how significant a play that is. Peterson gets that punt off with some heat coming, and not every skipper was picked up. There was a sprinter through, and he stood tall and got a really nice kick with a Hendricken roll on top of it. A lot of turf And a lot of noise for the Skippers to battle now with 3:17 left.
Ball on the 10-yard line, 1st and 10. Osmanski looking, throwing, and
caught it.
Oh, what a catch! A fingertip catch and a big pickup for the Skippers as they pick up the first down and near Hendricken territory, now on their own 47-yard line.
Haven't called Gabriel Sloat's name all that often, but boy, does he come up big. Extends his fingers and gobbles that one up. What a catch. Picks up about 40 yards on the play.
Now the quarterback is going to keep it and pick up a yard. Going to be interesting to see whether they keep the pace up here and try and tire out the Hendricken defense.
That was Nicholas Camella with a very good tackle. If he gets through there, Osmanski, that gain of 3 becomes a gain of 7 or 8.
Second down and 7. 2:34 to play. Osmanski at the controls, picks up a bad snap, lets it go, and the pass incomplete. Matt Riley got a hand on it, but really well defended on that play.
A lot of credit goes to these cornerbacks of Bishop Hendricken. They've done a really fine job at matching up the wideouts. I mean, the slow catch is, that's a highlight reel catch. There's really not a whole heck of a lot. The defender, it was right there. These corners, particularly on these little slant patterns, have done a really great job at making life difficult on the Skipper receivers.
All right, big third down play here with less than 2.5 to play. NK trailing by 2. There's the snap, back to pass. Oh, big hit, loose ball, and picked up by Hendricken and run in for the touchdown.
Wow, strip sack touchdown. Rinaldi has been Johnny on the spot a couple of times today, and that's what your defense does in a huge moment. Not really anything Osmanski could do. He never saw the initial hit coming. Rinaldi's had a terrific game in the middle linebacker spot for Bishop Hendricken. Osmanski saying, yeah, they got my arm. It wasn't coming forward.
Wow, what a play there by the Bishop Hendricken defense that produces 6 points here. And now a comfortable 20-12 lead with 2:17 to play, and they're going to try and tack on the extra point. The kick is up, and it is good.
And that makes this a 2-score game, Frank. He misses that. 8 points is makeable. You'll see the weak side rush, and they missed a block. Completely missed the block on the number 70, John Fay. I mean, those are the type of plays that if you're a defensive lineman, your eyes just light up. Watch again. They just missed the block. Number 9 runs right past him. Andrew Zarella, it's not his fault. He's going out as a wide receiver, but there is absolutely nobody on the end, and Rinaldi runs it in from about 40 yards out. Touchdown, Hendricken. You get the look on the face of Keith Croft, which is act like you've been there before. There's too much football left for us to think that we've won this one, and this team has given us too much of a game. I mean, the reality is, Frank, their defense has given them 14 points today.
Absolutely. It's Hendricken's first score since the first quarter. Now 21-12 with 2:17 to play. Tyler Califan is back deep along with Gabriel Sloats for the kickoff now.
Now North Kingstown has to do this quickly. They've been very deliberate on their offense today. They've a lot of up the middle runs, those draws, and he's got to pick that up.
Califan's got it, weaving his way up to the 20-yard line and then taken down about the 21-yard line. So with 2:10 to go, North Kingstown has got their work cut out for them here, trailing 21-12.
The execution on the special teams for Bishop Hendricken, we talked about it. Cole Peterson's kickoff there is a better play. It doesn't show up on the score sheet anywhere because it's just a kickoff that lands at the 6. But it went between everybody. It squibbed down. It takes time off the clock because they have to run it back, and it didn't go out of bounds. I mean, it checks a lot of boxes on a well-positioned play. And Hendricken needed timeout because I want to say they had too many players on, and they were about to be flagged for it. They did not like the personnel set they had.
Well, give North Kingstown a little bit more of a chance to think about what's happening here in the final 2:10 and trailing 21-12. More coming up on Your View right after this.
You're watching Game Time on Your View. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out yourview.com.
You've got a whole lot to keep up with, and that doesn't even include shopping around for rates on CDs. But as a new member of Navigant Credit Union, you can breathe a little easier knowing you can get 2.50% APY for 13 months with just a minimum deposit of $500. Stop by one of our new branches to learn more. You know, when you've got some free time.
You're watching Game Time on Your View. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out yourview.com.
Welcome back to Bishop Hendricken in Warwick, Rhode Island. The Hawks leading 21-12 with 2:08 to go, and North Kingstown with the ball, and the pass on first down is incomplete. So North Kingstown's long winning streak, most of it done in Division II over the last couple of seasons, now very much in jeopardy here. North Kingstown moving up to D1 in this past week's Rhode Island high school football statewide high school football poll. Bishop Hendricken tied for first with LaSalle in the States, and number 3 is North Kingstown. All right, second down and 10. Back to pass. And there's the catch, and they stop at the 32-yard line. James McGovern reels in the pass from James Osmansky. They'll move the sticks. First down for NK, and once the sticks are set, the clock starts. Less than 2 to go, 1:50 to go. Here's Osmansky looking to throw, and incomplete, almost intercepted, and a little jump ball play as one of the Hawks was falling out of bounds and tried to tip it to one of his teammates.
What an athletic play by De Los Santos. I mean, this, you see him, he's ranging out to his left and realizes he's about to go out of bounds, and he almost connected.
That would have been something.
That's one of those that if you drew it up while you're playing horse, the other guy just concedes the letter. I know it's a basketball reference, but.
All right, second down and 10 here for North Kingstown. Osmansky dropping back, looking left, moving into the pocket, lets it fly, and it is incomplete.
Now, only a 4-man rush now from Bishop Hendricken. They're dropping a couple of guys deep because they're guarding against A, the big play, and B, if somebody is able to slip past that initial pressure on the receivers, they need to have a couple of guys back to deny a quick score here with a minute and a half left. And this is really these next 2 plays of the game for the Skippers, obviously.
1:35 to go. Third down and 10. Osmansky, there's a nice rush, gets the ball away. It is reeled in and then run out of bounds by Tyler Califan. Let's see if he did get out. Nope, the clock continues to run.
He didn't
Fourth
get
down.
there.
Last chance now for North Kingstown to try and do something here.
Yep.
Some of the fans starting to file out.
Trying to beat the traffic.
Beat the traffic. .105 to go, fourth down and 6. And the pass incomplete. And while that will stop the clock, it will also change the possession. Hendricken will take over with just under a minute to play. So the congratulations starting on the Hendricken sideline as they'll wind the clock down here. We'll see if North Kingstown calls a timeout, but the Hawks back out on the field with the offense.
Yeah, my guess is they're going to go into victory formation and take a knee, and they've got some of their defenders out there as well. Yeah, victory formation. You know, valiant effort by North Kingstown. Credit where credit is due to Hendricken. When they needed to come up with a play, they did.
All right, quarterback takes a knee.
They got a special teams touchdown, a defensive touchdown, and an offensive touchdown. All three phases of the game contributed.
So the final seconds winding down here as Hendricken stakes their claim once again to be the top team in the state of Rhode Island.
You know, Frank, North Kingstown, we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, they wanted to prove that they belonged. And I think there's a big part of them that absolutely did that tonight.
Absolutely. They hung with these guys, but for a couple of crazy plays, who knows what would have happened. But that is going to wrap it up here as the final seconds wind down on a 21-12 Hendricken win over North Kingstown in a well-played game here in Warwick, Rhode Island. All right, so we're going to take a break, and we'll be back to hear from the winning coach, Keith Croft, when Your View continues from Warwick, Rhode Island right after this.
Game Time Player of the Game is brought to you by Navigant Credit Union. With Navigant Credit Union, getting great rates has never been so easy. Just visit a Navigant Credit Union branch or navigantcu.org to learn more.
As a new member of Navigant Credit Union, you're going to get all kinds of benefits and great offers, like our Journey Rewards checking account with one of the highest interest rates around and no monthly charges or ATM fees. But we like to think the best thing we offer is Andy, Katie, Zach and Amanda, and all the people of Navigant Credit Union right by your side. Stop by one of our new branches to say hi. Navigant Credit Union.
Baseball is everywhere. The MLB Extra Innings package includes MLB.tv, so you get up to 90 games a week on over 400 supported devices. Watch your team anywhere you want. MLB Extra Innings with MLB.tv. Order now with Contour from Cox.
Hey, Mr. Thompson, you know how you were so mad about going over on your mobile data plan? Well, we're Cox customers. And this is one of over 500,000 Cox hotspots, totally included in most Cox internet packages. Look, go to your mobile settings, click on Cox Wi-Fi, then plug in your Cox username and password, and then you're on Wi-Fi. And you could, stream that video of my band, literally no problem.
Find free hotspots because you're a Cox high-speed internet customer. Cox.com/learn.
You're watching Game Time on Your View. For more in-depth coverage of the top players around, recruiting updates, behind-the-scenes access, and more, check out yourview.com.
Welcome back to Bishop Hendricken High School in Warwick, Rhode Island. The Hawks, the #1 team in the state of Rhode Island, with a 21-12 win over North Kingstown here tonight. Our player of the game is the junior quarterback of the Hendricken Hawks, Tom Camella. Camella 9 for 21 passing, 115 yards, and this is the play of the game. John Fay with a hits Rinaldi with the pickup of the fumble, and he returns it for a touchdown. There it is. Crucial because it came with 2:17 to go, and North Kingstown looking like they had an eye for the end zone. That certainly set off quite a celebration here at Bishop Hendricken. And standing by now is the head coach of Bishop Hendricken, Keith Croft, with Mike Rubin. Mike?
Thank you, Frank. Coach, first off, congratulations. Very hard-fought effort for your men today.
Yeah, tremendous. Just a great game to watch. Tough to coach.
Seemed like your team gathered itself. Every time there seemed to be a mistake, they shook it off. And whether it was a penalty or a turnover, showed a lot of poise and character.
Yeah, I think you had two teams that have been in a lot of big games before, so I don't think the moment was too big. It's just, we made one play at the end that helped us get into the victory.
Well, when you go back and you break this down in film, obviously to get a touchdown from all three phases, a special teams touchdown, an offensive touchdown, their defense steps up, and then your defense comes up with that score at the end. That's going to make you smile when you watch the film.
Yeah, we got to watch the film. We got a lot to work on, but, like you said, every phase of the game gave us a little something, and quite honestly, we needed all phases because their defense did a great job tonight.
Well, Coach, congratulations. I know you got a bunch of tired young men over there that are waiting to hear from you, so thanks for stopping by. Head Coach Keith Croft, the Hendricken Hawks with the victory. Frank, let's send it back to you.
All right, there they are. They're celebrating the Bishop Hendricken Hawks. Tom Camilla, our top player of the game, had a great game running the offense. He was 9 for 21 passing, 115 yards, and running the ball, 10 attempts for 80 yards and 1 touchdown. So for Mike Rubin and our entire Your View broadcast team, I'm Frank Carpano saying so long from Warwick, Rhode Island, where the final score tonight was Hendricken 21 and North Kingstown 12. To watch this entire game on replay, log on to yourview.com. Good night from Bishop Hendricken High School in Warwick, Rhode Island.
Game time high school football action on Your View has been brought to you by Navigant Credit Union, serving members since 1915. With Navigant Credit Union, getting great rates has never been so easy. Just visit a Navigant Credit Union branch or navigantcu.org to learn more. For high school football live streaming, behind-the-scenes coverage, and more, check out yourview.com.